Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are... All right, welcome to the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage.
Seamless.
Tom Gazzola, Reed Clarke from Sport Edmonton, and Jasmine Tommy with you. You can join the conversation. Text us, 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat. Sentinel Storage, Canada's storage experts, more than 2 decades of helping Canadians through life's transitions. Canadian storage provider, sentinel.ca. Lots to talk about. It's an Oilers game day. Yes, we'll talk about them a bit. But Reed is a busy guy in the city, mover and shaker. You might know him as CEO of Sport Edmonton, very important. And then on the apparel side, I mean, you got a fresh Edmonton.
Yeah, fresh tea here.
Are we calling it Edmonton Baseball Club 1914, or can we just say Edmonton Eskimos?
You could say, yeah. I mean, It was the Edmonton Eskimos from 1914.
Yes.
Yeah.
From the Western Canadian Baseball League?
Western Canadian League. I mean, it was a time when they had, I think, an Edmonton Eskimos baseball team, hockey team,
yes,
football team, maybe even a rugby team. I don't know, but everything was the Edmonton, like, it was ridiculous.
Great name.
Yeah.
The logo, Jazzy, have you seen the cursive E from that logo?
She's got the cap.
Yeah, I
got
got the cap.
Yeah,
I
okay,
it.
you have it.
Yeah,
It's like this nice beige khaki color. It's beautiful. Yeah.
You hooked one of those. Yeah, those are really nice. Yeah. And that logo, I'm seeing more and more just around town. People like it. They dig it, and it's got a cool backstory. But then, too, Reed, you brought in some new hats. New-ish style, right?
Yeah. We've got some new trap hats. We just put them on the site, citychamps.ca, the other day. Those are actually more that fitted stretch, pro fit kind of style.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that the Riverhawks players actually wore during kind of our Trappers Day this year. So we had...
okay, I see.
Yeah, we had some of those, and I mean, to be honest, we were like, oh, we got a few of these left. I was like, okay, let's get them on there because they're great caps.
Yep.
But that's the '90s era edition with the black and the teal, classic.
Those are sick. I saw Sean Hill the other day.
Oh yeah,
he was with Matt McPhee going to the game.
Yeah,
good to see him. So your partner at City Champs.
Yeah, Sean's our partner at City Champs. Yeah, we're doing some cool stuff. You want me to drop some news too? You want to?
Yeah, well, Jazzy's into like sports apparel and style, so I think this is important. Plus, you're kind of like on the forefront of helping Edmontonians have cool vintage, new age style.
Yeah, I mean this could be the first place we drop it.
Let's drop it. Exclusive.
Let's drop it. So we recently just did a deal with a hockey team in the city called the Edmonton Oilers Hockey Club. Yeah, you might have heard of them. I think your listeners might know them. So we chatted with them maybe about a few weeks ago, but we showed them this idea, and there used to be a charity slopage game down at John Ducey Park in the 80s. And I think Grant Fuhr organized it for years and years. We found these old pictures, and there's like Messier, there's Fuhr, there's Gretzky, there's Gordie Howe.
Yeah, I remember the scene.
And they're in these amazing vintage baseball jerseys, and they're all actually by Nike.
Right.
Is when Nike was their sponsor.
Right.
So they're really cool. They're white majority, and they've kind of got like an orange and blue trim around there with a big Oilers logo. So we showed that to the crew at OEG, and we're like, hey, we want to bring this back as City Champs times Oilers for you guys. And they loved the idea. They were all into it. Like, hey, cool, make us a few samples. So we went back and forth, made some samples. And then we found some pictures of the hats, and they had these vintage style, like trucker hats that were really cool snapbacks. So we we got to do the hat and the jersey combo.
Yes, of course.
And they're all into it. So I think the deal is done. They gave us the order last week. We're just fulfilling it. And I think we're going to drop it in time for the playoffs. So it's
sick.
80s edition, retro style Oilers baseball jersey and cap. And it's going to be at the Authentic store, and I think an arena for the playoffs.
That's going to be cool. Do you know which ones he's talking about? Have you seen these?
No, I don't recall.
I didn't bring my phone.
There's a picture out there. It's I'll get it.
Brendan will find it. Can you find it?
It's a little tough to track down, to be honest.
Where did you find it? Oilers slow pitch 80s. Is that what you'd look up?
Yeah, I think I want to say it might be on Google, but we might have to do I've got that newspapers.com. So you go back and to see all these old, and there used to be all this Trapper stuff, right? So I might have found it there too, but yeah. And they actually had it too, like OG, they had this picture and they shared it with us too.
I've seen it pop up recently, like here and there. It's because the logo is like inverted colors, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different for sure.
Oh, maybe Brendan will be able to find it. It was crazy because you see all the green of John Ducey Park, and then they're playing slow pitch, and they're all wearing these Nike baseball uniforms. Thank God you guys didn't do anything with the pants because those were terrible.
We thought about the pants, but we didn't want to bring those back.
No,
so
the
hats and the jerseys
pants.
was a nice one. So yeah, it'd be pretty cool. And I mean, I was at the store in the Ice District yesterday, and there's not really anything like it out there, right? Like it's cool, and the hang tag's gonna have the picture of Gretzky and those guys on, so you'll be able to kind of make that linkage, right? They love that.
The hang tag has Homer on the hat.
Yeah, the Travers one does too, right?
Yeah,
so
which is great.
You got to try it tied back to the old days and be like, we're taking this exact kind of image and bringing it back.
That's a good way to do it. Yeah. Now, would you be interested in something like that? I mean, if we could find it, we'll.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like,
Of
what do you
course.
think the appeal is of that? Because, like, to me, I'd see it, I'd be like, that's sick.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm like a dog on a bone with stuff like that.
Me too, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's so different, and it's still like representing.
But it's not, everything's 90s right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is 80s.
Yeah.
It's still kosher, though, I would assume.
It's still cool. Like, I mean, I don't know why they even stopped doing it. Like, they should probably bring it back. It'd be a great event.
Yeah.
But it's got a really cool feel to it, and it's different. There's nothing else like that. Like, they had a couple baseball jerseys in the store, but like, this one's cooler.
Yeah.
I like baseball jerseys a lot, though. Like, on men, it looks great. On women, like, I'll rock it with some kicks.
Yeah.
But it's like the Blue Jays one. I got to change that.
What are you going to get? Get a Trappers one.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It could be perfect playoff time, right? Baseball season
Yeah.
starting.
An Oilers one.
Yeah.
An Oilers one, right?
Yeah.
Ideally, we're thinking if we could get this in time, it'd be like you drop it on the day for like Major League Baseball starting. But I think kind of getting for playoffs.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. That's a great idea. Well, it's not today. Today's cold, but
it's coming.
It's so coming.
It's
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, it's on its way. Jazzy, what's going on with you?
Not much. Big Oilers game today that we gotta get into, of course. But otherwise, the Canucks went to overtime with the Flames last night.
Yes.
Did you catch it?
I did. I was watching.
Did you catch it, Reed?
I did not.
You did not.
On purpose, I think I did not.
Yeah, I know. It's like two teams we just.
No, I was watching NBA actually.
The city despises. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was OKC Denver.
Okay.
Yeah, OKC Boston. Sorry.
Really good game. Yeah. Okay, so there's lots of sports talk today.
Of course. This is a sports station.
I had to pull my notes out. But, okay, so what are your thoughts on that game? First of all, who do you think is MVP in the NBA right now?
Well, I mean, like, I want it to be Shea. I think he deserves it. I mean, the team, they're like OKC's 10 games above Denver for first in the West, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
they clinched last night.
Night, which is crazy because I think there's still like 20 games.
So did Cleveland.
So I think he's got to get it. I mean, if you look at just the stats for Joker, I mean, there's an argument to say he could win it again.
True.
But there's voter fatigue and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, come on, we want to have another Canadian get it, right?
Yeah.
Nash has been the only one. So if we can get Shea to do it, and the way he plays, like they tried to like double, triple team him last night, and he was just shaking guys off and pulling up. Like it's crazy how good he is, right?
Yeah. Jaylen Brown got fouled out. Like that was really interesting to see. It's still a good 3.5 minutes left. Yeah, it was a good game till the end. Everybody thinks Boston's gonna do the repeat, but I don't think that's the case.
I think Boston, it'll be them in Cleveland. I think there, right? So we'll see. But I think it probably goes to the West. But I mean, who knows? Like the Lakers and Warriors now, man, it's going to be exciting. It's all going to come down to matchups, right?
So with the nasties, and not all the nasties, of course, a lot of people just think that NBA is just not as exciting because everybody's just trying to hit a three-pointer.
Yeah, you compare to what, hockey all the time? Like it's,
well,
I mean,
what it used to be, the product that it used to be, right? The quality of play.
Yeah, there's too many three. I mean, like the knock on basketball is always like, well, why don't I just tune in for the last 5 minutes and I'll just see what happens.
It's the same,
right?
Yeah.
And I get that sense of it, right? So to like, I mean, I love watching a full game, but I'm a big hoops head and I love basketball, right? So I get that knock on it. I also think the knock on it sometimes hockey is like, it could be the same thing. Why don't I just watch the third period? See what happens, right? Because there's a lot of times where you're sitting, and I've been to a million hockey, and you're like, there's not a lot going on here, right? Like it'll be like crazy exciting for 5 minutes, and then it just seems like it's kind of back and forth. And you're chatting with somebody, you're like, what just happened for the last 10 minutes of that period, right? So it goes both ways. But I mean, come on, like you don't have to pick one or the other. You can love all sports.
I agree
right?
with you.
Yeah.
What a concept.
What a concept.
Way to open up everyone's
What a
mind.
crazy concept.
That's
yeah.
like when you talk about football, you're like, you can like multiple leagues. You don't have to
Yeah.
like put one against
you
the
love
other.
CFL, you can love NFL, you can love it all, man.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Nobody
dude.
says you can't.
It's okay.
It's funny because in the NHL, one of the things lately that has come under fire, and rightly so, is if it's an Eastern Western team, or actually it could be a Western and Western team, but depending on where the teams are in the standings, if it's like tied in the last 5 or 6 minutes, you don't see any push.
Yeah.
And both teams are just waiting for
Totally.
to get their point and then see what they can do in the 3-on-3. So that's come under fire. At one point this season, it was the year of the comeback. That's kind of tapered off a little bit. NHL's been all over the place this year. Like it's really been all over with that. But that's the latest is like, well, it's the last 6 minutes. They're tied. They're just going to not do anything until overtime. So it's kind of like that reverse effect. But for a while, it was the year of the comeback. And you're like, well, half these games plus go to down to the wire because you can blow a multi-goal lead like we
they
saw
need
the
the
Oilers
points,
do.
right?
Yeah,
Like-
exactly. It's been interesting that way. Jasmine, what I can see you.
So some stats here. 36 3-point attempts, most in NBA history in the first half of that OKC game yesterday.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know, and that's what I mean. Like, and then so SGA is just a poised player. He will tell, like, he's such a calm player. He tells the team, tuck in your jersey. We're gonna get a technical. Like that to me is just maturity at its best, right? To really talk to your team like that, right? It's simple things, just don't cost us. Like, what a perfect season they're having. Like, don't make any mistakes.
He's got that kind of like confidence and swag about him too, right?
Yes.
Like I still think when he speaks and he gives interviews, like I think he does a great job on it. And I'd love to see more hockey players actually talk more like him.
Absolutely.
But he just kind of has that swag on him, and he doesn't, even at the end of the game, like him getting the ball and like he had Pritchard guard him and then came with like a double team, and I'm like, this is nuts. He's just gonna get by these guys. He's gonna find a spot, make the right pass. He's chill. Like he's legit, man. He's really legit.
You talk about swag. When they won yesterday, did you see how he put the Batman symbols up?
No.
Okay, so
so
SGA has his own like brand, right? So he had it up on the arena or the stadium, and then there was another building in Boston that it came up at.
What?
But nobody knew what it was because
really?
the logo, it's very I think Brendan will put it up there whenever.
That's sick.
People couldn't tell what it was. So there was a joke on Twitter that they're like, oh yeah, like 3 people got this. But
The bats. So it's like a bat signal?
yeah, it was
Okay,
like a
it's on your
Batman
screen
signal. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that his because I know he's got a deal now. He's got a shoe with Converse,
was
which is
gonna
really
ask-
Nike,
yeah.
like, but whatever, right?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like the bat signal is pretty sick. You know that scene in Batman Forever where the bat signal hits and Michael Keaton stands up, and it's in the background of his
Yeah,
like
totally.
huge office. I still get chills from that, but I respect that. Now people
See
know
that
what
away
it is.
game too? Like that wasn't an
That's-
it was in Boston.
See, it's like that quiet confidence. Quick stat on SGA. 7th player ever to record 60 straight games with 20 plus points. Like ever. And then I think there's a bunch of players, the 7 players, I have that graphic up as well if you're
Look
going
at
to see.
that.
But this is greatness, right? Like really do pay attention to the NBA, especially in the last 5 minutes, like most people do. Yeah, it's
His
a good Canadian
shoe
boy.
deal. I'm glad we're talking about him. His shoe deal, because that was announced like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Right. We were looking at this shoe. I think the boys on the morning show were looking at it. It wasn't aesthetically pleasing to the eye at first glance,
Yeah.
but I think they looked at
butter?
a couple different angles. Yeah, it was because it was like cream color.
It's supposed
isn't
to be, it's supposed to
Yeah.
be butter.
Like-
It's the color of butter.
like butter
yeah, but that was like the
to be
shoe.
smooth.
Yeah.
And then they looked at it even closer. They're like, actually, that's not bad. Did you take it? Like
But he's
deep
kind of his
look?
own, like, I mean, even Converse, even if it is kind of owned by Nike, whatever, like he's his own,
Either one.
he's his own dude, right? Like he wants to go with the brand. It's kind of like how Curry went with Under Armour and ran with it.
Yeah.
He wants to do his own thing. Like the guy even got rid of like his agent, right? He's his agent now.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, to
Right.
see.
So he's
Yeah.
kind of doing things his own way. And you got to respect that, man. I think it's super cool.
Okay, so Converse, like you said, is Nike. So they would, because like I thought, I'm like Converse, like we're talking Chuck Taylor's here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he does a deal. He's wearing these obviously in game. The technology must come from Nike.
I imagine, right? Like, I mean, I haven't seen the shoes in person, but I'm sure they're sweet. I'm sure they're almost like, similar in a lot of ways to a pair of Nikes or whatever, right?
They have a zipper on them.
Yeah.
Do we
Little
like that?
details. I know. I think like when the shoe first came out, everybody was calling them ugly, and like I think looking at them more and more, I'm like, they're not that bad.
The blue ones he's wearing in the game there that Brendan's. That's okay. Does that have a zipper on it?
These don't.
Okay. Okay, street style versus in game, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, they're commerce, so they got to be a little bit like that, right? I mean, they got to kind of throw back to the Chuck Taylors almost.
Okay, Brendan's gonna pop it up. Well, the colors on these, I know Oilers fans would be like, "That is sick. I love it." But there you go.
Those would be good for Oilers game day.
Yeah,
that's giving me some ideas right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I got the Jordans in those colors, but that'd be nice. That'd be pretty good.
Even like Knicks colors, right? Like you can mix it up with
There's
Oilers
a few
gear.
guys, I've seen those.
Yeah.
but OKC has this similar colors. Their blue is a little bit lighter, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
But they've got
it's
the
more of
orange
a baby blue kind of style.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. See, those in game, though,
Those look good.
I like those.
Yeah.
I would be more partial to
You got to have a
something
whole
like-
bunch of variations, right? For all their different alternate jerseys and stuff. But
Of course.
it's cool.
As one does.
Anyways, it's a bit different, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you heard how Nike, when they botched the deal for Curry, when they presented to him and
No, I didn't hear
they
about
had
this.
like the deck had, when you go and you present for a company, you build like the deck and sometimes you use like an old deck and they didn't change the name on it or something. It still had like Kevin Durant's name on there. And they kept and they spelled Steph wrong on everything. Yeah. It was like the most botched presentation ever because he was a big Nike guy and he wanted to be with them. And then after that, he like walked out. I think it was him and his dad, who's a former NBA player, and they're like, "We're out, man. We're not doing this deal. Like, see you later."
Yeah, because you don't care enough.
Yeah, you don't care enough to
Right.
check the PowerPoint file.
That's
actually,
awful.
what are you doing, right?
Yeah.
That's just business practice.
That's just business practices, right?
Like,
I think everyone's in sales probably has a story similar like that, where you like pull it up and you're like,
whoopsies.
"Oops, I didn't get that logo off" or something. But I mean, this is a little bit more high level stakes.
Yeah. Because these guys, like, money wise, like, what is a deal like that for Curry or an SGA? Like, we're talking millions.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Deal, lifetime.
Billion.
and now a lot of the deals, like, I mean, Jordan was the first guy to get like the cut of the revenue, right? So that was back in these, but I think now that's almost like standard for a lot of these guys.
Get a cut.
Yeah, you get a cut. So I don't know exactly what their deals are, but I'm sure they got.
The culture side of basketball obviously has, through osmosis, filtered into just everybody's
Everything.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it.
Yeah, like the fit check, right? We
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
talk about it on the Hangout. How NHL now has embraced that.
Finally.
Think so? Really?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But isn't it just like the toque and the
suit- they have-
and the
oh.
coffee and the suit? Like,
Yeah.
There's a few guys doing different things, right? Like
Yeah, well,
Skinner's got his hat.
That's exactly.
I mean, it's not bad, but
Patrick Laine has terrible suits. He had one that was just like half red, half blue
yeah.
that he wore, and it's like, what are you doing? Anyway, we do a thing on Hello Hockey called the Modern Power Play with the boys from Modern Measure.
Yeah.
And Jared
those
and
great
Richie.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
Richie,
awesome.
yeah.
They'll take a team
Yeah.
or a couple of guys and they'll critique their fit check, and they'll be like, "Hey, they hate the toque with the suit, or
Yeah.
the gray toque, gray suit, black shirt. It's
I
like
don't like it either.
super lazy." But
Yeah, super lazy.
like the guys on Vegas, the guys in Florida, Texas. They have like some really good style, and they
Yeah.
showcase their
Yeah.
personality at Montreal, and it's good to see. And then the other thing that the guys always say is like, "All right, guys, this is a pet peeve, but stop putting your phone in your pant pocket. It looks horrible because it's just the
'Cause it's
clunky."
just bulging out.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
just stop doing that. You have an inside pocket. That's what it's for. Don't put it on the outside pocket because it'll ruin the fabric.
Yeah.
Inside pocket. That's why you have that. Don't put it in your pants. And so it's great segment.
I mean, the toque and the suit look like that's okay. I can get behind that. I just think they probably got to get their, like, whether they're going sneakers or they're going like, fancy
Dress
shoes
shoes,
like you
yeah.
got, they're custom made. Like, they got to take that up to another level.
I agree.
think.
I agree with that. Austin Matthews, terrible style. I just want to say it. You like it?
I do like his
I think it's
style.
terrible.
I like it. I like his chain. the t-shirt.
Whatever.
I mean,
Agree to disagree.
he's that Scottsdale, like he's got that vibe. Man.
Yeah.
He's got that look a little bit, right?
This is true.
You know, it's a bit douchey, but it's okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
But it fits apart.
Douchey, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can use that. We can use that here. You can text us 780-218.
I can say that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
218-999. Brendan, I don't have my phone. I left it in the bullpen. I'm sorry. If you have, or if you could tell one of the guys to, you know where it is? It's on the EST chair that William Huff brought us. I feel naked without it. Like, what's going on? I'm missing everything. I don't have
without your phone?
the inbox. Yeah, I usually keep track of the
What
text
are you,
line.
What are you doing?
I was having conversations before we started the
He
show.
was playing video games.
I was, but I was charging my phone. I've been here since like 7:15.
Yes, you
so.
have.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's good for you. That's
No, it was all. I fell asleep on the couch after I had breakfast. Thanks, Brendan. There we go. That's why he's the man. Look at this. I have all these missing texts. Let's get into the inbox 780-218-9999. We always highly encourage interaction. We will talk more. Like, we have to talk about stuff because, like, I have a bunch of questions about like managing to get your product locally and out there. And it is good.
Sure.
It's a good product.
we got to talk a little minor league baseball at some point.
we will
here,
talk
too.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the
I got some
Canucks
takes
game.
on that.
See,
Oilers,
we've got a whole.
Jersey. We got this.
We have a whole potpourri of things
Okay,
that we're
good.
going to hit.
Yes.
Good.
Matt Hyman says Tommy's short shorts are aesthetically pleasing. Thank you. Yes, they really
They're
are.
coming back soon,
Oh, they'll
eh?
be back. It just needs to be a little bit warmer,
In a
maybe
few
less
weeks.
snow. Okay, you made the was a Clarke bomb with the Oilers vintage 80s slow pitch retro uniform and hats, which is cool, and it should be hitting Ice District Authentics team store.
Yep.
Yep.
You got it.
What is that process like?
You know what? They are great to deal with. Kind of got a little bit of relationship with some of those guys anyway.
Yeah.
So it was easier to kind of start the process. And they were already kind of fans of what we're doing anyways. So I think that probably put us a few steps ahead of where, like, if you just came in, you're like, hey, I got this brand, you want to do something cool, it might be a bit tougher.
Mm-hmm.
But they actually like point out that they really want to start working with more like local suppliers, right? They want to touch on those things. And if you've been seeing like with the Oilers and their collabs late, like there's a lot, man. They never used to do that stuff.
I can tell you why, because when I was there, I remember being told we're Reebok. Everything we put out is Reebok. We put out everything that the league does with Reebok. That's it. And the mindset has changed to where it's at now.
Yeah, it's like Lululemon, Mitchell and Ness, and
Peace Collective's got a whole thing.
That's right.
With the Lauren McDavid, all that kind of stuff, right? So they're really focusing on that sort of thing. And they know there's some deals, like they said to me, like, hey, like the NHL puts our logo on a whole bunch of things that, like, I don't know if we really love. You know, you're walking into, a big box retailer and there's some stuff there and it's maybe not exactly what they like for the quality and how they want to show their brand, but they don't have any control on that.
Right.
So this is stuff they control where they can sell at the authentic store and in the arena. And they want to make those kind of exclusive places to get this cool collab stuff. Right. So they want to make a big focus on that. I mean, they're even talking to us like, and probably some other companies, like, they do all these amazing theme nights and there's merch with them. Right. So like, hey, is there a way to bring you guys in this or be a part of it? And we're like, yeah, that's an interesting idea. Like for sure. But yeah, the process is really like meet with them, talk about it, come back with like some pricing, but the samples were the big key, right? They're like, cool, we love the idea, but get us a couple samples, let us look at it, make sure it feels good. It fits kind of our brand and our quality. Yep. And then once you got that, it kind of was like, okay, well, can you make more of these? Yeah. Okay, can you get them at this price? And then we go this and you work out all the margins with them. And that's that, man, to be honest. I mean, we've got to get some good, probably not. I'm actually, Principe Gino just said he's going to be our model for this. So we'll have a nice, you're a great model. So you've been there.
Yeah,
but,
I didn't know what I was doing. I had OG Jonah with me and OG Jonah's just like getting into these poses. And I'm like, what am I doing?
And he rolls with about 4 cameras on him.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I know one of his crew works at my building. I see him all the time. And he's like, have you seen OG Jonah? I'm like, I haven't seen him since we did the photo shoot for City of Champs.
Great photo shoot.
Yeah, it was a great photo shoot. So for this, you also have to, one thing's like, hey, we got to get some good photos and stuff. And we want to keep it in Edmonton. So we're going to get Gene to do some,
excellent,
some modeling and some cool spots. And we'll have that kind of all ready to go.
Do you see more of an motivation from people locally to try to take big swings, to do stuff like this and try to collaborate with big names in the city? And do you think there's more of an emphasis on partnerships locally now compared to in years past?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's one on the apparel side, there's just not that many local guys really doing it, right?
True.
But I think everyone's open to like working together, making it happen. And I'm seeing this from a lot of other like companies or businesses or retailers where they're trying to be like, hey, how do we get somebody who's like from here, gets it, knows what we're talking about, and it actually has like more of a vested interest. Like if we're gonna put this stuff in the store in the arena, like we're gonna make sure it sells, right? We're gonna push it out there on all of our social media channels, make sure it's like looks good in retail and all that, because we care about it too. It's not just like I'm dropping it in a store that's, how many 1,000 miles away and who cares? Take the order and run, right? Like this has got to work, right? Yeah. So I think there is a lot of interest for people to be involved with companies who care about that.
How much more, not incentive, but like how much more appealing is it to see something like what Reed's working on compared to a Fanatics t-shirt with an Oilers logo and a McDavid on the back?
You absolutely like read my mind. I was thinking about
because you're into the fashion side of sport way more than me. Like you guys are head and shoulders above me. But I always go to you and I go like, Jasmine, what would you wear if you had that option?
It's crazy because like, again, like fashion and stuff is just, it's in sports now. And wearing a Fanatics basic jersey a t-shirt with like McDavid or Drysdale on the back is just It's
everybody everybody kind of, you see them everywhere type of thing.
And like also being a woman, like I'll dress it up with like shorts, skirts, like whatever, roll it up, do my own style. But again, if I saw something like that, I would be like, whoa, that's so cool. I want one.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the Fanatics brand is just like, I know they're trying and cool, but like I just don't want to see that little F Fanatics flag. Like I just don't like it.
Do you think it's
like if it was Nike, Adidas, it's Reebok, or it's a low company, I'm cool with it. I just think their brand kind of sucks, man.
It sucks, or
it looks like cheap to me. I don't like it.
It does look cheap to you, right?
Just not, I'm just not a fan.
Well, they had such a bad like rep with their quality.
Yeah.
Well, there's a Twitter account, an Instagram account that's seriously just called Fanatics Sucks. And all it is Fanatics fails.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. And it's bad. And when the league announced that they were going to Fanatics, the NHL did, you saw all these replies of like Ovechkin spelt improperly and like numbers off of one of those types of t-shirts just peeling off the t-shirt and
it just doesn't have that brand equity to me. Like I don't want a Fanatics jersey. Right. I'll take a CCM, I'll take a Nike, I'll take a Adidas, whatever.
Yeah.
I just think it doesn't. I mean, there's Fanatics could probably get like the NBA or whatever, but there's a reason they put like the Jordan or the Nike logo on the NBA jerseys because people are like, that's legit. And when even you see like these high school and university teams, they're all spending a crazy amount of money to have like Jordan branded Roshep Thunderbird stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Because the kids are like, that's cool.
Yes.
I want to rock that. Like, they don't just want to get some whatever. They don't want to get like Russell or something brand. That's not bad, but they're like, this is way cooler.
There's a difference. And that's like when I'm not going to lie, like I'll see the Golden Bears uniforms.
Yeah.
And they're nice. Like they're NCAA Adidas quality, like sub texture underneath. It's not just forest green. It has like a pattern underneath. And then
they're legit, man.
And I'm like, why doesn't the CFL do that? But they have their deal with New Era, and to New Era's credit, they've done some things with the uniforms. But you're right, like there's that legitimacy, there's that cool factor, and it is a part of sports. It really is. It's become a big staple, and it's a big part of the business. Example: Eva Gizol, my mom. She's like, a few years ago, she's like, I want to buy some Oilers stuff and some Eskimo stuff at the time, and I'm like, well, I'll take you to the team store and see what there is. She's like, they don't have much women's. And I'm like,
they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
And then all the stuff was just like team issue. So now it seems like what you guys are doing, your partnership with the Oilers collaboration, what you've done with the Trappers logos, the 1914 Edmonton Eskimos, like it's niche, but it's cool.
Yeah.
My brother bought a bunch of those t-shirts from City of Champs when you guys launched a year ago or a year plus. And he's like, I just love the fit. It's a cool fit. It's a modern fit.
Yeah, but he did, like this shirt's a little bit of a boxier fit.
And that's what he,
like really good fabric. It's really thick for a shirt and stuff. And it can fit like anybody can kind of rock it, right? You
Yeah.
can wear it a little bit baggier, you can wear it a little tighter, whatever.
Oh, totally noticed the quality immediately. Even with the stitching of the E, totally noticed the quality.
Yeah.
I think after you did your photo shoot with the jersey, I think I texted you being like, do they have like a small? And then I went on the site and it was sold. Oh, they were like sold out. I think
Really?
you only
We got
had
smalls. We got
I,
some
did you,
really
yeah, I think they were sold out. I think there was like only XL left. So
oh, if only you knew someone.
Well, okay,
Yeah, I know.
we'll figure it out. I'm pretty good with a drop off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
expect
exactly.
one.
but that is cool. And okay, so do you want to jump to something else? Do you want to just wrap up the apparel?
we
side of
wrap up
things?
there.
'Cause I have a couple,
Please.
couple more questions.
Yeah.
Because I get very excited whenever I
Yeah.
see the Trapper stuff. You know that.
Yeah.
He was, by the way, before I forget,
What?
he was a Trappers player for Halloween.
I saw that.
I was. I wore the
that's-
whole.
that's
Well, yeah,
great.
thanks to Reed and Sean.
Sexy
yeah,
Trappers player, because we always say sexy in front of a Halloween costume. That's
Oh
what
yeah,
we
I
do,
was
right?
showing
Yeah.
off a lot of leg that
Yeah.
day. It was wonderful. Yeah, you could see my ankles. But I know you said that you've got something else cooking on the Trappers front, maybe.
Yeah, we got a couple things coming. We're gonna drop a new jersey. So we'll drop a new jersey. It's gonna be kind of a retro style we haven't done before. So there's some cool. There's ones we're working on with that. So we're gonna drop that one for sure.
Yep.
We also went to Vegas last month in February and went to this show called the Magic Merch Show, and it's ridiculous. It's vendors from all around the world. So we found some really cool stuff there.
Yeah.
Really high quality things that we're gonna get, and maybe some jackets. There's there's a great jacket. They should be coming in pretty quick. They'll be Trappers branded. Yeah. So
It's nice when you see the jersey pop up around the city, and you're like,
yeah,
I know where you.
they'll
got
be
that.
I mean, yeah, spring comes, like they'll be popping up for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, these Trappers jackets could be pretty slick.
Was the stuff? I'm assuming it was pretty popular. Like you can only do a X amount of your run, like, and I'm sure a lot of it sold out pretty.
Yeah,
quick.
a lot of it goes pretty quick. We try to keep it like one drop run, go there, sell it out, move on to the next one.
Mhm.
So we're gonna do that. We had a few Trappers things, so we did jerseys, jackets, and then we kind of really want to expand the City Champs line and focus on that brand a little bit.
That's cool.
And that's gonna be kind of more subtle, really high quality pieces. But so we found some guys there that were like, this stuff is nice, really nice, and it's gonna look good.
Brendan, do you know the Trappers? Brendan's a little bit younger.
Yeah.
I know them as the Capitals, but yes.
Oh no,
Caps.
no.
No.
Oh,
sorry.
no.
Sorry, no.
Way
no.
different.
Trappers. I'd seen the logo. I know who they are. Don't know them.
Well, Kate, he's 25 now, right?
24.
24.
Yeah.
Trappers left 21 years ago.
Yeah, I think 04 was the last.
04. Yeah. So
04
they're
was
coming
the
up
last
on
year.
21 years.
When Patty Mahomes Sr. pitched 8 games.
Did you know this?
In 04.
I did know this.
Yeah.
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 That's insane.
Yeah.
And actually, speaking of, Gus is in here and kind of tickles my interest too. Where would you get the old school Trappers hat, jersey, apparel kind of stuff?
Where we like from our website, yeah.
From your
Yeah,
website?
citychamps.ca.
There you go.
Yeah, check it out, man.
Mhm.
If we don't have what you want, drop us a line, find us on social, we'll see what we can do.
Reed Clarke.
Yeah.
Clarke with an E.
There you go.
Jazzy, anything else?
No, I just
Yeah, I know both.
it's refreshing with like people in Edmonton that love fashion.
It is.
I feel like we're still trying to, be like Vancouver's very fashionable, for example. Toronto's very fashionable, but a small town city like Edmonton still needs to step it up a bit.
It is. We're ahead of the curve when it comes to Edmonton, Calgary on this stuff. I feel like it because I've seen some Canon stuff, but it's kind of rudimentary, if you will.
Yeah, there's a few things out there. The Cannons one's actually like the trademark's still with Major League Baseball. So
really?
Yeah. That's so I don't know what's going
That's
on.
a
there.
little dicey.
That's a little dicey, right? Where ours
You guys own it.
we own it. We got it. Yeah. So that one, I'm like, I don't know what you're doing on this thing, but they don't have the same kind of history. Like they just ripped down the ballpark, the old Foothills one in Calgary.
Oh God, that place
Like
is
Edmonton's got
awful.
such a rich history. There's some things we're looking at. Like it was at this event on Monday, and the Chimos, like the Women's
Yeah,
professional
you
team.
posted something about
There's
that.
like,
didn't you?
they had the hockey, or they had the Alberta Hall of Fame there, and this Chimos logo is amazing. Like,
What was
I
that
sent
logo?
to Shaw right away. I'm like, dude, what are we doing here? Like, we gotta do it. It looked like it was like a hockey player, but almost like a ghost kind of like thing. It was I've nenever seen before, but it was legit, and then we got to do something with the grads again too. They didn't get into the Hall of Fame, Naismith Hall of Fame, even though I pushed pretty hard to make it happen. But maybe next year. So there's so many ones that we got to get back into. I did some of that with Ross Flats, obviously, but I think now we got better quality and cooler stuff that we can dive into it.
Stuff is pretty sick, I have to admit. Okay, I will, speaking of like selling stuff and marketing, portions of this hour brought to you by our good friends over at the Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of EST. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out at thehiveproductmarketing.com. Oh, that was a good throw. We've got Reed Clarke here, CEO of Sport Edmonton, Jasmine Sidhu with you, Tom Gazzola, Brendan Eric as well. All right, Jazzy, both of you guys did a list of things you guys wanted to talk about today. Very impressive. Both of you. You've been doing it. You even send him graphics, which is amazing.
Yeah.
We're taking it to a new level.
Yeah.
We're growing too. We're growing too.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next? What's on the docket?
Okay, quick shout out to Rip City, because did you catch that game at least?
No.
The Portland game and the Knicks game was wild. Went to overtime, and I was thinking about Rip City that he almost had a heart attack, but
Never doubted him.
yeah, Knicks won. 3-point buzzer beater.
Of course.
Bridges, just an unreal game. I wish, we're also with the graphics. I do send video, but as you guys know, we need Maddie back to get it going properly.
Yeah,
but,
well, there's like been, when we try to run video on this studio, it creates an audio glitch that we need our engineer to fix. Did you want to?
There's just like, I just kind of want to, I know we'll get into Oilers soon.
Yeah, of course.
Did you hear about this criticism of Shaq? Did you hear about this?
What about
how he basically made a bold statement saying the Pistons are boring, and
I did hear this.
Yes, and not giving them any airtime, but they're actually one of the most wonderful NBA stories right now.
I heard that. I think our boy Avery posted a whole thing.
Oh
about it too. Yeah.
It's just basically he's an analyst, and people are like, you should know, especially this story particularly.
Well, I mean, like, what's the turnaround? Isn't it great? Like, they won how many more games like 2 months ago than they won all season last year?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's insane, and they're a fun team to watch. But I mean, Cade Cunningham is actually like playing. He wasn't really playing as much, and he's killing it. So. I love the Pistons. I love the arena too. I think they got the best arena.
Have you been?
Yeah.
Wow.
Little Caesars?
Little Caesars deadly. Is deadly. Yeah.
250 million over budget, by the way.
Yeah.
It was.
It's like 3 times more than Rogers or something. It's big.
Yeah.
You can tell. Like it does look like
they
that.
went with the terrazzo flooring instead of taking it out.
Yeah.
They didn't value engineer that. What were you gonna add?
And the brick everywhere, but the
Corvette
bars
hanging on the
inside
wall.
out there. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
you're also talking about how you went to so many baseball stadiums.
Well, I'm trying to get to all Major League Baseball stadiums. So I think I've been to 14 out of the 30-ish, right?
That's wild.
Yeah, including the old Expos one. So saw a game there, which was pretty cool. And it's just like mad concrete everywhere. And I think we showed up late. This is obviously years ago, and tried to get to we're like, oh, these empty seats. And we tried to sit there, and they're like, no, these are on hold. You got to go back up to the upper bowl. I'm like, dude, it's like the fourth thing. Like, these guys aren't coming.
Right.
They're coming like, no, you can't sit here. They're reserve seating. We can't do it. We're like, all right, whatever. So I think we sat out there and then eventually just
moved down.
Yeah, moved down.
Yeah.
Figure it out. But
they were getting like 4,000 people by the end.
Yeah, it didn't matter. There was nobody there.
Yeah. They're putting 800 and something million into Olympic Stadium in Montreal.
Yeah.
I saw a news article on, it was like Mamaway. I believe that's how you pronounce the company. They have like the big lifting company. They will be providing the lift and the support beams and structure for the new roof that they have to put in at Olympic Stadium. And that in itself is like a 6-month process. They have to build the roof inside the stadium and then lift it with these cranes. Like, it's ridiculous.
I don't know why. I mean, what's going to go there?
Apparently it would be too costly to tear it down because it's tied into like the underground infrastructure of the subway and stuff like that. So instead they're propping it up by putting almost $1 billion into it, which is insane. And then I just saw this thing, like they won the bid to do the roof, and it's like they're working with a German company. And I was like, this looks awful. look, nothing has changed. It looks like the same concrete falling apart Olympic Stadium.
I don't think it was ever nice. Like at the
No.
beginning, I don't think it was ever nice. I think it was just okay back then in like the late 70s or whatever it was for those standards. But it never looked like it had like this charm. And you're like, oh, okay, I got this. And like, I don't. I've never seen so much concrete in my life, like everywhere. It's crazy.
Awful. Jazzy.
There was one more thing about fashion that actually did
Go
come
for
up.
Okay.
Did you guys see how the MLB had to pull these hats off the shelves?
Which ones?
I did.
They were I have a graphic and we can talk about it because they're actually hilarious.
They're everywhere. Like the graphics are everywhere on social.
So they're called the overlaps.
Yeah.
Do you hear about this? And they basically so like Houston.
Brendan's laughing already.
Yeah,
So I think he knows where this is
is
going.
really funny. So they had to pull these off the shelves because you'll see. So for example, Houston looks like assholes.
Yeah. And what's the Texas one?
Tetas.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Oh, those are so bad.
they're so bad. And then actually I was gonna ask Hernan this, but so Texas is Titas.
Okay.
And I think that means tatas in Spaniel. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. So they had to
Okay.
pull those off the shelves.
You would think that they're...
They'd be on top of this.
Reed,
yeah.
you were talking about quality control.
So then they called the Angels one. Can I say it?
Say it.
Okay, which looks like the anals. And then it just doesn't make any sense. Like the memes, like why? Like
I was actually more offended by just how ugly the hats were. Like I just think they just look terrible already.
They don't look good at all.
I get
like-
what they were trying to do.
like
get quality
Bobon?
control. Yeah,
That's Bobon. You look at the Red Sox one, it's Bobon.
yeah, that's right. It doesn't make any sense. Or like the Miami one is memes. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And now I think they're like whoever bought them, and now they're going for crazy prices, right? Like I think
Really?
they're on eBay for like $1,000 a hat or
Oh, I
something.
Wow.
believe that.
I-
Detroit.
Okay, we have the perfect person to talk about that because as someone who creates collections and works on stuff like that, like where were the missteps here outside of the fact the execution is ridiculous?
Man, you know what? I think they're just pumping out so many different variations of hats
Yeah.
from New Era when they're coming. So like somebody's approving designs and they're just going through it quick. Like this is one of, I don't know, probably 50 different versions, right? I mean, if you go in A stores now, you see all the New Era hats. There's like a million different colorways, and there's like the black on black style. Like there's all these different. So I just think it was like it just got overlooked like nothing.
Very much so.
And- Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where maybe they'll change on the quality control with this kind of fiasco, but yeah, and like how I don't see you can really explain that, right?
Yeah, it's almost like a parody.
They had to give the design, like
But not a good idea to begin with.
yeah, not a good
Much
idea.
so.
Hey, let's take the team logo.
Yeah,
and
I
in
don't know.
baseball,
I
I
don't
think
know
like
where they-
90%
maybe they'll change
have a letter in them. And let's put it on top of the city name
Yeah,
in the team's font. It looks dumb.
That was like, so Stephen Colbert's like, he called them the Toronto BJs.
Yeah, to begin with.
yeah, not a good idea.
Hey, let's take the team logo.
Yeah, I
and in
don't know.
baseball,
I don't know where maybe they'll change it. They're just probably desperate for
letter in them.
versions
And let's
of
put it
hats,
on
right?
top
Like,
of
we made so
the
many
city
colors on
name.
one. Let's come up with something a little bit different, but I don't know. Sometimes less is more. Yeah, see, look at that one, $1,000.
Wow.
It's wild.
Yeah, the tetas, the anals.
That one was the most
memes,
controversial,
the
I
ass
think, though.
hoes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Like, what are you doing?
That's a big whoops.
Yeah, so
Big whoops.
Yeah, that's a
Big
big
whoop.
whoops.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I saw that. Forgot about that.
That's a good one. And like, okay, and on top of the fact that you guys are helping to expand like the type of styles that are available outside of just the team issued Fanatics league partnership, whatever.
Yeah.
That was something in baseball I noticed right away when I started traveling with the Oilers years ago. You'd go to a ballpark or a football stadium and you would notice that they had these variations. That's where I saw Mitchell and Ness. What is it? Like the 47
Yeah, 47. Yeah.
47 brand. And I was like, oh, whoa. Like what, like you'd see like throwback baseball t-shirts with the 3/4 sleeves. And it would have, I remember the Cardinal stores vividly because I'm like, what logo is that? It looks like it's super old. And they're like, oh, they wore these in the 60s.
Yeah.
We just put it on a different color baseball T-shirt.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is sick. I'm gonna buy it. That kind of thing is neat to me. I'm always fascinated by it, and I think it's classic. And people, especially with vintage now, we have Zach to come who goes thrifting. He goes and buys jerseys.
Yeah, I love
and you're
that.
like, where the hell did you get that? He's
It's
like,
nice
I went
stuff.
thrifting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's nice stuff.
but the whole retro is very.
I mean, they're catching up to it. Like, I mean, they expand the Oilers store. Like, it looks good, and they do have a whole bunch of different things. But I always thought, like, that store's got to be, whenever it's not a game day or someone's just coming into Edmonton, they're staying downtown, like, that store's got to have everything. Like, if you're in Edmonton, and you're like, man, I can't catch a game, but I'm going to go to the store. I want to find that, like, a vintage Gretzky jersey or Curry or like throwback different color they can only get there.
Right.
Like, that's such a piece that you need to hit and you need to dial in. And I think they're getting there, but I mean, you've traveled all these places. Like, sometimes the team store is like the best part.
It's huge.
It's
Yeah,
the best part. And you're like, man, this is crazy. And I want to see a wall of hats that has every different kind of style possible.
Oh yeah, the Dodgers team store.
Yeah.
I remember
awesome.
just being blown away, and I'm like, well, the team name has always been the same, even when they moved from Brooklyn, and the logo hasn't really changed, but just like all the varieties of different things. I love like spring training caps in baseball too.
Yeah.
Like they have just a slightly different logo. I have the mesh instead of the wool.
Yeah.
For the material. Like to me, I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, and you're there, and you're like, hey, how do I kind of, I can't get tickets anymore unless I'm going to screenshot the Ticketmaster thing on my phone and put it in my scrapbook or something, right? Like, I do scrapbook. I was doing it the other night with my tickets.
No judgment.
No judgment. Just sports. Actually, it's pretty cool and therapeutic.
Sure.
But you want to have something to kind of remember you're at that game, right?
Yes.
Whether it's a puck, it's a ball, it's a hat. Like I'm all
I was
about
there.
that,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It's got to be
Program.
something. And the Red Sox store is massive. That's an amazing one.
They have
Cubs
the one-
store is cool.
The Red Sox store, they have one across the street. Remember, you know how they closed down the block basically and turned it into you need your ticket to get into the block.
Yeah.
They have that huge warehouse across the street from the actual.
Yeah, it's massive.
And and you're like, wow.
And it's got everything. It's got a whole different section by brands even too. So yeah, you got to dial it in, man.
You do need to dial it in.
You got to dial it in.
Jazzy, what do you got?
All right, so let's quickly talk about you watched the Canucks and Flames game last night. So who do you think now is going to creep in the wild card?
Still the Flames.
You still think so, hey?
Yeah.
Why?
I think they're a better team. I think they work harder. I think there's less turmoil. I know the Canucks won that game and they came back and won that game actually.
Yes, they did.
Good for them. I think it was a good battle, but Calgary should have won that game in my opinion.
Canucks had 17-4 in the third for shots. So Calgary was just blocking the shots.
Yeah. They're trying to sit on their lead like we were talking about.
Yeah.
There you go. Can't do that. Anytime you do that, you're in trouble.
You were asking for it, yeah.
And Garland, speaking of fashion, with his whole little sweater neck. What is it? Yeah, neck.
He's got the turtleneck.
With the overtime turtleneck with the overtime winner.
Is he the only guy who rocks that?
There's
Why
a
did he
couple
do
guys.
that?
Well, I think it's TJ Oshie's company. You know, when it was Adam Johnson last year got his neck cut and passed away in Europe. So TJ Oshie has this company, War Road, and it's cut proof, cut resistant.
Okay.
Undershirts. Actually, they have a really good one where it has a flap and you pull it up to hold your elbow pad in place. But they have the neck guard built into the shirt.
Oh.
And that's what I think Connor Garland wears now. He chooses to wear a white one with the away jerseys and a dark one with the home jerseys.
That's all good.
It's very noticeable. And he's a smaller guy.
Yeah.
So it pops out a little bit more. And yeah, he's got that long hair with the beard now. And I'm like, you look funny.
You think he looks funny? Yeah, he kind of does.
But he's a great player. And he scored
is.
a nice shootout goal yesterday. But that's what that is.
Yeah. It's a pretty thrilling game. The Canucks fans, not me, watch it, you guys. Like my cousin's chat was just like, this game is garbage. Don't even bother. This is such bad hockey. And I'm over here like, this is so exciting. And almost looked like a playoff game.
It was desperation hockey.
Yeah.
Two teams fighting for their lives, two Pacific Division rivals, two cities that don't like each other, fan bases that don't like each other. I thought it was good. I had to watch it. I thought it was a good game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just so stuck on like, I just hate this divisional playoff format the NHL has. Like, I just wish they would go back to 1 versus 8. Like,
remember how we complained about 1 versus 8, and that's why they switched the division.
And maybe like I mean, how are the Oilers? How are they not going to play the Kings? Like when you look at the standings, like isn't it going to be that? Like
It should be. It
it should
probably
be.
will
I mean,
be.
there's still 18 games left or
Yeah.
something, but it just, man, like it just kind of sucks. You got to get out of your division first, essentially, right, before you even get to see any of the Central teams, unless a wild card sneaks in there. But man, I don't know. Like it just sucks. I just don't think it's that cool. I get the idea behind it. It was supposed to build like the rivalry in the division and do all that, but I think it's kind of taken away from it.
The first round playoff tradition that is an LA Kings series, I find it's like the great way to ramp up and get into the playoffs, especially because the Oilers always beat the Kings.
Yeah.
And I know some people are of the mind that you're flirting with disaster. How many times can you beat them in a row?
Could be.
LA's better this year. The Oilers have proved they can be better. They're not playing to their potential, obviously, right now. I kind of enjoy it. And also with how good the Central Division is and all the moves that were made last week, it's like,
totally.
let those guys beat each other up for a round or two.
But in that, like sometimes you're going to have some of the best teams in the league out in the first round of the playoffs. Like I know it's not our problem as Oilers fans.
It's tough.
Right?
Yeah.
But Colorado's going to be playing Dallas potentially, like, right?
Yeah.
And with the moves they made, I'm like, okay, I guess they're out. You don't even get to the second round. Someone's got to win. It just seems kind of crazy to me on that aspect.
I get it. And the rationale's sound on that, but it's just like, you could look at it like, well, at least you have great matchups in the first two rounds. And then like the true, whoever is the team that can survive gets to the conference final, and maybe you have the Cinderella stories and all of that. I don't.
And it could build like, I mean, if it was Edmonton, Calgary, and it was playing every first round, I mean, we wouldn't be complaining about it, right?
Yeah.
The league and everyone would be like, this is awesome. Two rivalries playing against each other every time, going at it, hardcore to start the playoffs. It'd be great, but I don't know, man. It just loses a little bit for me. So.
Well, it could be like last year when Jasmine's heartstrings were pulled in every direction when the Oilers and Canucks played each other.
They say that because I hate watching the Canucks. So now they think I'm obsessed with them.
Have you been to the bar in Vancouver? Was it the Black Frog? The
Oh,
Oilers?
heck yes.
You've been there. Yeah.
Oh, yes,
It's
many
amazing.
times,
And they
yes.
bring out the bleachers to watch an Oilers game. They got all the stuff there.
It's packed in there.
It is. Yeah. I'm actually going to Vancouver this weekend. We might watch the Rangers game there on Saturday.
Oh, that'll be good
Yeah,
considering
could be
what's happening
cool.
with the Rangers too.
Yeah.
Tell Reed where you're going.
I'm going to New York to watch, not to watch the Oilers, but I am going to watch the Oilers in New York this weekend.
okay.
Yeah.
Just randomly?
It just kind of fell in my lap, like the trip.
Yeah.
And then it was meant to be, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Sometimes those New York trips just kind of happen like that, right? They just
Yeah.
fall into your lap.
It's magical.
Well, I'm going to see the U Sports Basketball Championships is actually at UBC this weekend.
Oh,
yeah.
beautiful
So somehow I
place.
convinced my family that was a good trip to do, and we're going.
Speaking of
should be cool.
UBC, Shaq gave like a shout out to UBC. Wasn't that wild?
I don't know where that came from.
Me neither.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I want to like good luck to the Thunderbirds. You know, hope you win that champion. Like, I don't know if he's got a connection. I mean, he must, but like,
Was it just like a cameo? You could pay.
It was like a cameo thing, but he did it like on the TNT desk.
Huh.
And he had like Barkley and
all of
Ernie,
them.
and they're all like, go Thunderbirds. I was like, where's this coming from?
Yeah. Shout out to my cousin Raymond, who's a former Thunderbird. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What sport?
Hockey.
Oh, in hockey. Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's cool. UBC has good programs. They have a good hockey program.
Yeah.
Their football team too. How's their basketball?
No, they're pretty good. I think they were like second. I think UVic was the best team, but I think they were right.
So it's
They're
a
right
good.
there.
They've got good athletics. Yeah. Jasmine, what do you got?
So do we have the lines yet? For the game
For
today?
the Oilers, they should be on the ice, or they should have been on the ice half an hour ago.
Okay.
11:30 in Newark
Okay. Looks like Skinner's expected.
to start.
Yes.
Okay.
Jake Allen seems like it is confirmed.
Okay.
That's what I do have.
Yeah.
I'm just looking right now on Daily Face Off. I think the lines might be out.
You want me to check?
Yes,
I can
please.
check,
You're
yes.
the expert.
Okay. I'll look. You fill in.
What about our boy Jeff Skinner? Where's he at? Where's
Oh,
he?
let's find out. This is going to be an adventure.
I think he's in.
You think he's in?
I think if this is correct, he would be playing, with Leon and Arvidsson.
Where's the source? Cite your source.
So my source is Daily Face Off.
Okay.
But I know you probably use Bob,
this
right?
is how they practiced yesterday.
Mm.
McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and Hyman. Draisaitl with Jeff Skinner and Arvidsson. Henrique with
there you go.
Podkolzin and Brown. Kapanen between Jones and Perry. Janmark was not on the ice.
Yeah.
We should note that.
It looks like he's not going to play today.
Wallman with Bouchard. Nurse with Stetcher. Kulak with Emerson. Stu Skinner was in the old starters net. Now let's see if Bob updated that from practice today. No, he has not. And I know Paige is on the trip. She did not update it. DNB's out there because he was on with the boys yesterday. Let's find out. He has lines for today. No, he has yesterday's lines.
If they don't update it, does that mean it is what it was?
Yeah, and I'm looking to see from the Oilers PR if it was optional today. No, it was not optional. They didn't say optional, so I guess we'll
Big
have to
Uke
wait
saying
and see.
Oilers would play abs right now. It was 1 versus 8 format.
Would you want
Oh,
that?
shit. Maybe that's worse. Maybe that's worse.
I don't think there's an
It's definitely worse.
yeah. I don't think there's an easy out anymore.
Maybe there isn't.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
there
you
isn't.
really want that 1 versus 8, huh?
All right. Fair enough.
Thank you, Big Uke.
So the lines
yeah.
aren't out yet, eh?
I haven't seen anything
Okay.
from anybody who's down there that would suggest anything new from yesterday. What were we gonna say?
That Ekholm didn't travel with the team and that he was supposed to come back. I believe Reed guys were talking about this. He was supposed to come back to their road trip, but now
Yeah.
it's confirmed he's not coming back.
Yeah, it
eh?
looks like he's dealing with the lower body issue. He's game to game. I mean, you have the back-to-back games and then the Sunday. So I think
Good.
if he was going to make it, it would be the 2 days in between.
Let him rest.
Let him rest.
Yeah, let him rest.
Need the Viking to do his thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is all good. Like I understand it's a big hole in the team when he's not playing, but
Well, yeah.
let the other guys can step it up. I feel like today they're gonna do well. I know everybody. Like,
I hope you're right.
They're kind of even in the standings, as like I think they're third in Metro. Jersey is.
Jersey, yeah. They were having a really good year, but Dougie Hamilton's out. Jack Hughes is out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
both those
So-
guys for the season.
I heard that. Yeah.
Big losses. You're not getting. Although the Oilers have torched Markstrom.
Yes.
Him. Jake Allen, surprisingly, has had more success against Edmonton than Markstrom in recent
Well,
years.
that's why he's
Okay.
in.
There you
We'll
go.
see. We'll see.
And believe it or not, even though we're away, we're the favorite by -1.5.
Okay.
What number do you wear?
Ah, thank you. The Oilers are the favorites.
There you go.
-1.5.
There you go.
5.5 goals over under today.
I love it. Okay, keep those texts
Maybe
coming in.
Skinner gets a point, man. Maybe, I don't know.
Hey.
That's what he was calling.
Who knows? Text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat if you're watching on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. The official drink of the EST Hangout is the Finnish Long Drink, legend of 1952. A drink unlike any other. Sparkling refreshment, real liquor, longdrink.com/Canada. Oh, yeah. Well, sorry, Tiger. Got him in the sensitive male area with that toss.
Yeah, he can handle that.
Yeah, Jasmine Sidhu, Reed Clarke from Sport Edmonton, and Tom Gazzola with you. Brendan behind the control panel, making sure everything's running smoothly as we head into hour number 2 of the Hangout. We've talked about a lot of good stuff. What else? Because you guys,
You have notes too.
Yeah.
What's
Well,
your notes?
the only thing I was going to say, like, I mean, people have talked about Skinner, Jeff Skinner to kind of death, but like, what is he, like, what did he do? Like, why is he, I mean, I get when you've got a bad relationship with a coach and as one, like, did something happen there that people don't know about? He doesn't want to get these chances. Like, I know sometimes he's out there and he hasn't proven himself, but he've kind of been through that before, but like, it seems like it's personal at this point. Is that going too far with it? Like,
I don't know.
It's,
But you're not crazy to say that or suggest or ask it, because people actually last week were texting into the pre and post game show. They're like, what did he do? And I'm like, honestly, everybody seems to like him around there. I just
like, he doesn't
don't
have a bad attitude. Like,
I think he's very easygoing. All my experiences with him, he's generally in a good mood, and people engage and talk with him, and there doesn't seem to be a black cloud hanging over him. And I haven't been told of something like that. To me, it's straight up. They just don't like the way he plays and the way he fits into the lineup. That's my read on it right now.
yeah, well, I mean, maybe that would have been a good thing to look at when you brought him here. But like, what was he supposed to do? Like, he is who he is. He's been in the league how many years?
14.
Right?
Yeah.
He's not a fourth line. He's guy's offense. He's not defense. Like,
Exactly.
So, I mean, you don't get mad at some in the NBA. It's like, yeah, defensively, just like, it's like Lucas, his defense sucks. So we just can't play him because he's only good on, one end of the court. So, it just doesn't fit for us.
That's basically what they've done.
Like, what I just don't get it. And I was just saying if there's something else there where like the vibes are off, or I mean, you've been in practice this time. Like, he's not He's not working hard. He's showing up late.
No,
give a shit. Like, what the deal? Because it seems like his leash is like it couldn't be shorter.
Very true. There are days where he gets a point or scores and he doesn't play the next game.
Yeah.
I have not noticed a lack of effort in practice.
Yeah.
He seems to hustle just as much as everybody else. Again, generally very pleasant to be around. Busts jokes, talks to the guys on the team. I get the sense they're like, we don't like the way he plays, doesn't fit our style. I'm not going to play him. Makes too many mistakes in his own zone. Can't trust on him to be smart defensively. Not playing him. And then you get Matthias Janmark in the last 3 minutes of a game when you're looking for a goal. The guy has not shot a puck past the goalie this season.
Well, exactly. Like, I don't know why you don't play him to his strengths then, right? Like, playing his strengths, not his weakness is like, so then there's certain times, like those times, we'll put him on. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff kind of seems obvious. And I don't know if those questions have really been asked to Novak or
he got them.
not. Like,
He got those questions in the last week or so, and he did reveal a little, but he's the type of guy that keeps it pretty buttoned up.
Yeah.
And it was more so he finally just said, yeah, like we don't use him because his style doesn't go mesh with. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, with what we're trying to do. It doesn't always work. So yada yada, basically.
yeah. And then I get you got to stay to your system and it is, but like, when you're losing 7 in a row, maybe the system maybe you got to look at it. Maybe you got to make some changes. Maybe you got to adapt on the fly, try to figure it out. Like, I don't know. I just don't get it. So I feel for the guy a little bit, like give him a chance, man. Let's, at some point it's like, what are they in the last 10? Like 2 and 7 or something?
3 and 7.
Like you kind of got to make a push here or, bad shit's going to happen to the team.
Happened.
So, and has happened. So, I mean, what's the worst could happen? That's
I think
what my
we've seen
take
it.
on it.
I think we have seen it.
Yeah, hopefully we've seen it.
Jazzy.
Yuke just said that the Oilers did tweet their projected lineups. And Skinner is said to be in the second
Okay, that
line.
would have been probably Jamie Umbach that put it out there. It's probably on their website. Check that out.
It is Jamie Umbach.
Yeah, Jamie, good. He's a good writer. Good guy. Really good guy. All right, text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat. Jamie in Newark. Here's your projected lines for tonight. Oh, look at that. They interviewed Jeff Skinner. Very nice. And he was smiling and laughing, which is great. McDavid with Nugent Hopkins and Hyman. Draisaitl with Skinner and Arvidsson. Henrique with Podkolzin and Brown. Kapanen between Jones and Perry. So they still have Janmark out, who was not skating yesterday, apparently due to illness, according to Jack Michaels. Wallman with Bouchard. Nurse with Stetcher. Kulak with Emerson. Stu Skinner
There you go.
starts in net.
Oh, it's confirmed.
Well, that's the projected lines from our buddy Jamie. Okay, what else? Next topic. Let's go.
Do you want to go into a little bit of minor league baseball? I kind of just want to get your thoughts on the new team that got unveiled in Edmonton a few weeks ago.
Let's go into it. Did you see this, Jasmine?
I did not.
Okay. The Energy City Cactus Rats.
Oh, the Cactus Rats. Yeah. Okay. LT really loves this name.
Well, he loves.
Really, hey?
Yeah. Okay. At first, I was like, what is this?
Legit.
How did we get Cactus Rats here? Why are we, Energy City? And then Eric discussed the charm of like those weird names, like the Saskatoon Berries. And there's like a team in the.
That one makes sense. So.
Yeah, the W in the league that the Riverhawks play. Is there not a team called the Pickles?
Portland Pickles.
Portland Pickles. Yeah.
Why?
Seriously, but listen.
Okay, I can get behind that. So here's my problems. And hey, I love they're building a new ballpark.
I think
they're actually selling like season tickets really well. I think it's gonna be awesome for baseball and sports in the greater Edmonton area.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple of things, like Energy City. I've lived in Edmonton my whole life. I've never heard anybody call it Energy City. So you can't just make up a name for a place and go with it. And maybe I know it was a fan submission, whatever, but like still it doesn't make any sense. I mean, there's City of Champions, there's Dirt City, there's Deadmonton. There's names you could go with. I don't think any of those are good.
Yeah.
But like you can't just make up a name. I mean, there's like Golden State Warriors. Well, it's the Golden State because of the Gold Rush and whatever. Like that makes sense, right?
But I understand the tie-in to the energy sector.
I get it. Yeah, there's energy here. I get it. But no one's ever called it Energy City. It's like in history.
They will now.
Now they will. Okay. So I got a little bit of an issue with that.
Okay, that's understandable.
Cactus Rats. Yeah, I don't mind the logo and everything. Like, there's no cactus here. There's no cactus anywhere close here. I've never heard of a cactus rat. I get what it is. It's a porcupine.
Yeah.
And the reason, but like, that tie-in doesn't make any sense.
It's
right?
loose affiliation.
Like if it was like prairie rats or something,
Yeah.
cool. I could go river rats. Like there's a whole bunch of different things you can make, but there is no cactus.
Right.
So you're just making stuff up. Now I get the idea. It's kind of like Savannah banana styles. Let's come up with something crazy.
Yes.
And he brought up like Portland pickles, that one, but like the P and the P makes sense. Like I can get behind that. Saskatoon berries makes sense. And it's actually really clever because there's Saskatoon berries, right? But
Yes.
this is just throwing shit out of literally left field, for the pun intended.
Great
like,
pun.
And I just don't get how that all ties together, right? And if you want to go like capital city, right?
Yeah.
You could tie in, like, could be capital city, whatever, prairie rats or something. That would get it. It takes in the whole region. You can almost have a tie-in with like, Simpsons episode when they played the capital city. I think it was capital city capital. You obviously can't do that.
Yeah.
But with Dancing Homer and everything, like there's a whole tie-in there that would make sense. But I just don't. I think this is a reach. I think it's a big reach, and I wish him nothing but success.
Yes.
But I just don't get it. Maybe I'm proven wrong, but I just don't get it.
I think
That's my rant on it.
Well said. My initial reaction was the same. I was like, "What the hell is that?" And I'm like, Energy City, where'd that come from? Okay, yeah, oil and gas. Yeah, we have a lot of that here. We are the capital. And then I looked at the logo. I'm like, what's a cactus rat? And then, so you said porcupine. We definitely have porcupines, obviously.
Yeah.
But then I looked at the logo and I was like, I kind of like it. And then I thought about the name. I'm like, well, it'll make people ask questions and they'll be like, oh, that's the team from the Edmonton area. Edmonton, oil, gas. So you have to like draw parallel or connections to it. You said it though. We live in a time where the Savannah Bananas are probably the most popular baseball team in North America. Yeah. They sold out Fenway recently, apparently, or they had they're at Fenway. They go on tour. They're the Globetrotters, basically, of baseball.
100%.
And it's very, very in. And like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think banana ball is stupid. I think it's ridiculous. The only thing I like about it is like the foul out to win a game if it's caught by a fan.
The dances are pretty energetic.
I hate the dances. See, that's where I'm down. I can't stand the dances. Like before a pitch, the pitcher's doing a dance and then he throws heat. Like, get out of here, you dork.
But if you're just going for entertainment, like you're just going to the Globetrotters.
I know, and people love that.
And I think that's okay. But you got to like it, and I think they're selling it like that. I don't know if they're trying to make it like it's legit baseball anymore. By the way, do you know how much? Probably can't say the exact number, but like to try to get Savannah to play a game.
How much?
That's big time. But let's say you just wanted Jesse Cole, the owner and the founder of the team, to do a speaking engagement. 6 figures.
Shut up.
6 figures, bro. Yeah. Plus travel.
I don't love banana ball.
But
have you heard of this?
No,
have
but
you seen it?
I'm intrigued and I want to watch it.
It's this guy's running the graphic that Brennan has
they're
on the
only
screen right
played
now.
in like football stadiums or huge Major League Baseball teams. Like if they were ever come to Edmonton, like it wouldn't be playing down at Remax. It'd be at Commonwealth.
Yes.
And they bring 120 people for a show.
Like their roster must be insane. So yeah, they do like all the backflips and the line and all that.
How do you
but
not like this?
The pitcher, like here's an example. Brennan's putting up some images if you're watching on YouTube of like examples of banana ball. A pitch is coming and then the second baseman and the center fielder, they'll all do a synchronized dance before the pitch.
Yeah.
And you're like, throw the damn ball. I want to see.
And the batter might be on stilts and
Yeah.
it might be on fire. I know there's fire that gets tossed into there.
Yeah. They do like a bat on fire.
Is the length of the game normal
I believe so.
with adding all this stuff in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the game, like the actual gameplay is like shorter, but with everything else on there, right? I mean, his concept of like fans first is like brilliant, and they had like free food and buffet when they started, when they were like an independent league. It's awesome. I love the stuff he's doing, and I think with the Energy City guys, like it is all in that idea. It's ask questions, it's to be provocative, it's to get attention. I get all that, and I appreciate it. I just think, I still think it's a bit of a stretch, but I'll buy a hat. I will buy a hat.
Well, that's what I was saying too. And I'm like, I looked at the logo and went and looked at updates of the ballpark, and I'm like, damn, that ballpark's going to look great in Spruce Grove. There's going to be, I think, an arena. There's going to be a condo complex or something like that, or it was a hotel. I can't remember. It looks awesome. And then you're taking the old prospects and you're breathing new life into them. So you're going completely away from the prospects branding to the Cactus Rat. Not going to lie, it sounds like a cool name. So I would definitely buy a hat too.
LT said they should name them Parkland County Porcupines.
There you go.
Well, okay, there you go. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the Okotoks team, the Dogs, does really well. They call themselves the Okotoks Dogs. Like, it's like you could have went with Parkland or Spruce Grove and then had some kind of name and logo and done these sort of things. I think it would have made a little bit more sense, but hey, my take.
You're at a game and you got your kid and he goes, Daddy, what's a cactus rat? And you're like, well, son, it's a porcupine. Daddy, where's Energy City? Is this Energy City? Well, son,
you're in it.
You're in it.
It's actually not really, it's more of a vibe. It's more of a feeling. Yeah. That's what Energy City is, right?
I get what they're doing. I like the logo. Yes, bit of a stretch,
but
good on you. I'm for it.
Good on you. Yeah.
Energy City, I like that. Yeah, maybe because I like the word energy.
I think it's cool. It's just it's never been used before. I've never heard anybody like even reference it at all.
Yeah, we're playing the Cactus Rats today.
Jamie in the nasty chat, he's like, Tommy, it's not regular ball, so why should they play regular ball? Do you hate the Globetrotters too?
Yeah,
yes.
Do you? Come on.
No, I'm just out of principle saying yes.
Not the Globies. Not the Globies.
Because I have to stand with what I said. So yes. But I respect what they do. And Reed goes to the Globetrotters. He says it's awesome. Love them. I'm a Washington Generals fan.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Big
I hate
Generals.
the Globetrotters.
I said I don't want to go to the game, and then I see the Generals. If I missed out on them actually winning this time.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's
you're saying there's a chance.
Any day now.
MLB is one of the most boring sports to watch. Banana ball is simply just pure fun.
He's right.
Yeah. Well, you guys talking about it, you're pitching it to me, no pun intended. And even I'm just like,
no pun intended.
Yeah. Even I'm just like, yo, like that seems cool.
I love to go. I'd love to go.
And you mentioned it's sold out too, right?
Oh, it sells out everywhere.
Yeah,
it's massive. They're doing a huge tour. They haven't gone outside of the US yet, but I don't know. Be cool. If we could get one in Edmonton, I think it'd be amazing and it'd probably sell out.
But if it takes 6 figures to bring in the owner and founder, like
I know. I think people have looked into it. I think it's a lot of money.
Yeah. You're right. Like 9,500 at Remax Field probably won't cover.
Wouldn't be big. Yeah. But then it's like, would enough people want to do it? Like, be into it?
Do you think it has enough reach up here that non-hardcore sports fans who are aware of, Savannah Bananas would know about it and go to it?
I don't know. I think that's the question, right? Yeah. I want to say yes, but like, could you get 30,000 at Commonwealth for the Savannah Bananas?
No.
Sure.
I don't know, man.
Not 30,000.
Well, you'd have to be kind of in that, like,
that's the way they'd come,
in that range.
Oh, okay.
Like when they're going to all these major league ballparks, like they're doing 50,000 easy, but they're going to football stadiums too. So I don't know.
Collingwood Rob has a question for you guys. What's your take on and he says to you specifically as well, is it Mason Whoopee hockey team?
What's that?
I don't know.
Mason Whoopee.
Is it Macon Whoopee? MACON Whoopee hockey team. Let me look this up. Really quickly too, I was looking at this Shoresy. There's the show and the hockey team. Are they not doing like a little bit of a tour as well?
Are they? I mean, that'd be cool. Like,
I think that might be the hockey version. It gets into the
whole conversation. Like, and I was out at the U of A the other week talking to a sports marketing class, and just like in the city, like in Edmonton specifically, everyone die hard about the Oilers. They're honest right now, and we're going to talk about lines. What's going on? We haven't played a game in 3
days.
3 days, and there's still 20 games left in the season, and they're in a playoff spot, and it should be all good. But so like everyone cares so much about the Oilers, but everything else in this city, like people care, but not to that level. So it becomes just about entertainment.
Right.
And you need to focus on that. So whether we're talking Riverhawks, we're talking Stingers, even Elks, right?
Yeah.
Like wins and losses matter, but it's more about having a good time and the experience you get at the venue from when you park or get off an LRT to leave the game, like that whole thing. And you have to kind of change your mindset into just being like, how do we make this as fun and a great time as possible? And whether that's cheap beer and food and DJ and giveaways, like all this stuff, people know what it is. Like the loudest part of any game is like the t-shirt toss. And I was at the Oil Kings game yesterday. And it was loud the entire thing because it was the hockey hooky, which my ears are still ringing.
Yep.
But the t-shirt toss goes nuts. It goes crazy, right? And they throw out like 5 t-shirts. And I'm like, what?
That's cute.
Like,
Yeah.
you see all these kids are like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to get one. I'm like, well, quick, because you have 0 chance of getting one of these. Like your odds of getting the it's just not going to work out for you, right? Like, first of all, throw out more t-shirts, but like, you know what kind of works, but you gotta hammer those things because it just comes down to entertainment, right? And all these other things, these other sports are all gate. They're all driven. Like they're not getting a ton of money from media. Sponsorship's okay. Merch is kind of break even, right? Camps or lose money, break even at best. So it's all about gates. So if you got to get people there to have a good time. So if that's what Energy City wants to do, or that's what Savannah Bananas want to do, it's what they're doing obviously for the Riverhawks and everything. Then that's the idea, man.
Hear me out. The Energy City Cactus Rats go and buy some porcupines or capture some.
Yeah.
They have a porcupine habitat and they put little hats on them.
Oh,
There you go.
that'd be adorable.
Think about it.
Yeah. Or let them run free, right? In between.
Yeah, like there's a pen
Yeah.
in left field.
Yeah. They could do a race, like a porcupine race,
Yes.
and you different sections get to win.
Now there is an element of danger
Yeah,
with the quills.
you might have to have
Great
some
idea.
leashes there.
Yeah.
I'm not figuring out the logistics for them on that, but if there's a way to make that happen.
I mean, the Miami Marlins had a fish tank behind home plate.
Yeah, they did. That
Yeah.
was sick.
It was, I remember being at a game, I'm like, are those fish in there?
Yeah.
Yes, they were fish.
Edmonton is a sports city. So like they do sell out events like WNBA, for example, right?
Totally.
And
PBHL.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Hear me out on this one.
Okay.
From LeDuc Aaron says they play out of Spruce Grove, not Edmonton. So LeDuc Aaron telling us that the Energy City Cactus Rats play out of Spruce Grove.
Yeah, I got
and
that.
not Edmonton.
Yeah, I got that.
Yes, we knew this.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
What else, LeDuc Aaron? I'm downtown, Tom. So
is Spruce Grove called the Energy City? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I spent some time there. I'm not there all the time. Like, maybe I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't think so, though.
Yeah. Okay, what do you got? I know you got some.
Okay, so I actually wanted to get to this before we run out of time, so I'm just gonna.
We got time.
Okay, so Dusty earlier, he had beef with Tammy because she wanted to get all of her stuff ready, like her nails, her hair, whatever else, clean the house, all this stuff before they go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And he thought that he was beefing about it because he's like, why? Like, does your wife do this?
Like get everything ready? Yeah.
Yeah, like before a trip. Like she gets her hair done, her nails done, facial, massage, cleans the house, whatever, gets all that stuff done.
Yeah.
He thought it was weird. Like it's an unusual thing to do.
That was his I've got beef, right?
Yeah.
I just assume that most women do that before they go on a trip. They want to be nice looking.
Yeah.
Or like freshen up the look or whatever.
That's right. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I was stunned that he didn't get it.
Well, I guess there's 2 points to break that down. One is like, you can't leave the house a mess.
Yes.
Before, like, I think you want to make sure it's clean. You don't want to come back and be like, I should have took out that garbage 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's probably not a good idea.
No.
So I think that, I don't know how anybody would argue that take.
Couldn't
that's pretty
argue
obvious.
that one, no.
And then if you want to get yourself ready for a trip, like, I don't know, like, Tom, you probably want to get a fresh cut before you go somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Why would you not want to handle those kind of things,
exactly.
right?
Like to
take care of business.
Yeah,
right?
TCB, put yourself into a good spot where you're ready for your trip.
You're going to take pictures, you know, you're going to be gallivanting and meeting people, whatever.
Maybe hit up the Fabby tan. Maybe you want to get that base tan going first. So not like me, you don't burn first day. I already burned in March.
Did
like,
you?
Yeah, it's
oh
ridiculous.
my God.
Yeah, skiing. I was like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. So maybe you want to do that.
That's a great idea. I'm of the mind that that's probably logically a sound.
I do too. Yeah. So I was just like, how old are you, Dusty? Like This, like, do you not
Well,
get
13
it?
at heart. We know this. Nothing's changed. Tendies and mac and cheese. Yeah.
And
He lives where we all want to.
And thank God he's okay after what happened yesterday. He didn't drop dead. We were having the whole Stephen A. Smith LeBron debate and talking about their incident that occurred.
Yeah. Oh, with Bronny? and
Yeah.
everything?
Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't know. I mean, part of me is like, LeBron's done so much for the league and everything. If he wants his kid to get in there, and it's a little bit of nepotism to get him on the team and play. I mean, he clearly isn't really at that level. He's not that far. Like, he goes to some G League games and puts up some numbers. It's actually crazy. If you watch some G League games, there's like nobody there. I thought there'd be a ton of people who would want to see Bronny play. So that part, I mean, like, I guess it's not great, but if somebody, gets the leeway to do it, I guess it's probably LeBron.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to know that much. And I'm not the biggest like LeBron fan because I'm a Jordan guy, right? And some of the things he does, I don't agree with, but I don't have a huge issue with.
It was interesting though. Like, you heard Stephen A. on that podcast that we were talking about, the clips we were listening to prior to the show yesterday. And he was like, that was a father, but I had my new deal signed. I'm there with Larry David and the Disney guys, and I can't do anything about it. So I just sat there and took it. Why didn't he just call him? Why didn't LeBron just call him? Because LeBron made it into a scene. Then Stephen A., unless it was, LeBron is making it public and then on national TV, he's going to out this guy and be like, you can't talk to my kid about my kid like that on national TV, even though you're probably right. And then Stephen A. goes the next day on the air and says, that was a dad. That wasn't a NBA player. And then he goes on that podcast and he spews off again. And now we're still talking about it in Edmonton, Alberta, 3 or 4 days later, because it's ridiculous.
I think also in the NBA, when you talk about PR and things, I don't know if a lot of things are by mistake. Right?
No, you're
This
right.
goes back to even like the Luka trade. Like, you tell me LeBron didn't know about this. Anthony Davis had to waive his no trade clause to even make the trade happen. Like, you think all these people, it's just like, I didn't know this. Like, and then you got Rich Paul on there, and they're, like, everybody knows everything first. So like, even if if Stephen A. Smith and him are having this kind of like public beef and they're talking about things, like it might be really legit, but I always kind of question it a little bit and be like, is this sort of set up to get people to talk about it? Is it a ratings thing? Like, if there's any league that knows exactly what they're doing all the time with that, it's the NBA.
So it's not the NFL with the script.
Yeah.
It's the NBA.
Yeah.
There we go.
NFL maybe not that far behind, but
Well.
like it's I think you always just got to question things a little bit, especially when it comes to LeBron, right?
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Do you make March Madness brackets? Do you do that?
Yeah. I always make March bracket. I always lose. Which sucks, but
Who's an expert, right?
Yeah, you can't be an expert on it.
No.
I went last year to Spokane to see the first day.
Yeah.
So you got 4 games, I think it was all on a Thursday, right? So like 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. It was crazy. And the hack for people who don't know, if you go the first day for NCAA, all the tickets are basically sold to like corporate. But a lot of guys aren't coming to work. Like, they're not going there for a 10 a.m. game to go see 2 teams that are from the other part of the country or something, right? So get whatever ticket, I'm saying this in general, get whatever ticket that you can buy for a decent price and then just go down and slide down to their seats because you'll be okay.
Oh, okay.
Trust
Good
me, you'll be
idea.
okay. Afternoon session, it gets a little bit dicier, but the morning session for sure. So yeah, I went last year Spokane. This year I was trying to make Seattle work, but it's just, gets tough,
Yeah.
It does.
Flights, dollar, everything else. It gets a little tough. So, so U Sports is my substitute this year for NCAA March Madness. But those first days, like that Thursday, Friday for me is gold. Like the Elite 8, 16 and Final Four is awesome, but those first days are amazing.
I was just going to ask you that because if I do it, I want to go to that. Like, because you just don't know what's going to happen.
And you want
right
to go
off
to
the
a
bat.
spot like Seattle would have been cool, but it's at whatever it's called, Climate Pledge.
Yeah.
So it's a big, it's a big arena still. Like Spokane is only like a 10,000 seat.
That's where the Chiefs play.
Where the Chiefs play,
Yeah.
and you want to go to a smaller spot like that. So if you can go somewhere like whether it's like Lexington, Kentucky, or
True that.
I think they had one like in Rhode Island and Providence. Like that's a spot you want to see those first round games.
You're right. I saw an NCAA game at Climate Pledge. And you're right. It was sold out. It was packed, but it just didn't give the same vibe I would imagine.
Yeah, you want that kind of
that cozier.
Totally.
Yeah.
How was that arena, by the way?
I love that arena.
Yeah.
It's very expensive inside, but it's like for them to renovate it and make it the way they did it, I think it's really beautiful.
It doesn't look impressive like from the outside. We were walking around it last year in Seattle, and it doesn't look like it's been all redone. Like it looks kind of dated, right?
Yeah, they had to.
I mean, the whole
maintain
park area is a bit dated, right?
Right.
But yeah, maybe it'd be cool to see inside.
Yeah, when you go inside, it's pretty good, and it's all like recycled stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they use captured rainwater for the Zambonis.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
wild.
I mean, they got enough of it.
They
like,
have so much rain.
Good for them.
That's part of like the climate pledge. So that is a kind of a neat element to it. I heard that it goes down quite a ways because they had to dig, I think, 30 feet down when they
Looks
gutted
like
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one I haven't been to. I've been to every other rink except for UBS Arena on Long Island. I was at Brooklyn when the Islanders were playing out of there. Great facility, terrible hockey arena. Then they went back
With
to
the new one? Or
With the ice and stuff?
the new one in
Yeah.
Brooklyn. Yes, like it's a great arena. It's the one Jay-Z built.
Yeah.
Or JZ because Canada only, right? It's a joke from yesterday. And but of course it's basketball specific, so they had to shoehorn the arena or the rink in there, and like the seats were off, and the way
Kind of like Utah, like it's a basketball. Like I
Yeah.
heard there's a bunch of spots you can't see anything. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Exactly. And so Utah, I don't know if you heard, they're not going to build a new arena. They're going to take that old one and they're going to retrofit
Yeah, did you
it
hear
and
that? Yeah.
redo the bowl and everything, make it
Cool.
capable for hockey as well,
Yeah.
which is kind of neat.
Where you can't see
Yeah.
some of the ice.
Well, yeah, because I think they only had like 12,000 seats at one point. They're looking to get more in there, but you only have so much of a floor plate to work with that they're going to have to do extensive renos to it. But it's way better than what they had in Arizona. And
Would have been great to go to a game.
We always say that.
There's so many chat, and it was like
Yeah.
it lined up with the waste management a couple of times. I was like,
Yeah.
because I'm always like looking at like late, and I'm like, okay, what's a good trip? Like, what's a quick thing and kind of pile these things on.
But it was only 4,500 seats. And did you see that the former Coyotes owners were? I think they're suing. Is it ASU to get 3.5 million back on the lease because they didn't play there this year, and people in
a mess,
Phoenix are
man.
just like, get out of here! You guys were shoddy businessmen. Go back to Vegas.
Yeah,
because they're based out of Nevada, so just a mess. But watch when they get a new team, new owner,
we'll see.
new arena.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah, expansion. Anyway, I just
we need
NCAA basketball. I went to that tournament in Vegas at the Thomas and Mack Center.
Okay.
It was neat. We were there to watch like 3 or 4 games. A bunch of us got food poisoning, had to leave after the first one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was brutal. Anthony Bennett was playing at the time.
Okay. Yeah.
And
This is a while ago.
it was before he got drafted first or bust, obviously.
Yeah. Could be the biggest bust.
He's terrible and Canadian, unfortunately. But it was cool to see. So I like this idea of going to day one games, smaller place, and then that ticket hack and trick that you had is kind of neat.
And it seems, I don't know if that's for basketball, or basketball only, but that hack of kind of getting down to lower seats. Like we went down to the NBA Cup in Vegas, pulled off the same move because there was 2 games, right? And the first game was like the East semifinals on Saturday and the West semis. The East one kind of got in there. West got a little bit, might have been asked to leave, but then came back and found another spot. But in basketball seems to work. I did that in Boston too, at the Garden. So I don't know if I could pull that same move off in hockey, like maybe, but in basketball, it seems to kind of work a little bit. So anyways, if you can do it, do it. And what's the worst going to happen?
So these aren't your seats. Oh, right? What? I'm new here.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be kicked out of worse places, right?
All right. We're going to move on here. The EST Hangout is presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada's storage experts, more than 2 decades of helping Canadians through life's transitions. Canadian storage provider, sentinel.ca.
Ooh.
Not as good.
No,
Jasmine.
not as good. Some nasty chat messages. X-Ray J, 3 of Alberta's largest coal, now natural gas-fired power plants are located in Parkland County. Trans Alta Guinness and Sundance Keep Hills.
Cool.
Sweet.
I think I pronounced
Does
that
that create an energy city though?
I mean, yeah. I just
Although
wish
I don't
someone-
hate the name. It's just
No,
bizarre.
if you want to create a nickname,
yes.
then I guess you're creating a nickname.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
And
And it all
X-ray
makes
J-
sense. It's
X-ray
energies.
J. Yeah, those are good facts to know.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Yeah.
A couple nasties, but James B. I'll read yours because it's similar to everybody's. Is, are we seriously surprised by what Dusty does or doesn't know?
Nailed it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Big Uke, as far as the arenas we're talking about. They lifted the roof and built the rink down, which is super cool. On the ends, you can only see the blue line out.
In Seattle?
No.
In Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna do more to make it more hockey friendly.
Yeah, Brendan has that.
Get the graph. Nice. Okay, good. So we could see the visuals of that. But San Antonio, when I was covering the Oklahoma City Barons, they had the same thing.
I love the Barons.
San Antonio played in the Spurs arena.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just like Brooklyn, where one side was cut off. Phoenix, when they originally moved into the NHL at what was then America West Arena. Now it has a funny name. What's the downtown arena where the
Is it
Suns-
PayPal or?
It has a funny name.
I've been there before. It's not bad. I think
They-
they fixed it up a bit. Now.
They put like $500 million into
Yeah.
it recently too. So, but that was hockey or basketball specific, and had the overhang on the one end. It's just
Once you go basketball, so it's hard to make it into hockey.
Yeah.
To go the other way around is pretty easy.
yeah,
It's just the only problem is when you build a hockey arena first and you put a basketball court in there, there's a lot of kind of empty space that you can see.
true.
Right. And we saw like in the CBL, some of these ones, like it was a little tough. You had to find ways to kind of bring the court closer or move it kind of one way or something.
You
right?
guys did that at the AgriCom?
Yeah. Yeah.
aka the
Yeah.
Expo Center now.
Yeah. And I think they try to do it at Sastel Center too. Right. So
That's a big facility.
yeah, but it's tough because like you realize how small a basketball court is compared to a hockey rink.
What's the length? 100 feet?
Yeah, FIBA one's a little bit different than the NBA one, so I don't know. I'm not going to say numbers. 'Cause I can't.
What's the dimensions
I should
of a
know. I should
basketball
probably
court?
know this, but
You're a basketball fan.
Dimensions to what? Sorry, I was
Basketball
reading
court.
something.
Oh, okay.
I should. Hey, if anyone should know, I should know, and I don't. I don't know.
Oh well,
But
yeah.
it's weird. It's like the FIBA one. It all because we always look at it with like, okay, courtside seats, and they'd be like the wood kind of went too far. I'm like, oh, it's too far to put the seat. Let's put the seat on the court. But then it gets like really close.
Yeah.
Like the Calgary one was like crazy close. You to put the seats on there, and the guys are like bumping into it, which is cool, but
Yeah.
it could get a little dicey.
94 by 50 feet.
Yeah, and then compare that to 200 by 85, like you
Yeah.
said, where you got a lot of room to work with.
And that's where like they're always talking about like there's no actual like basketball facilities. They're built just for basketball or even like volleyball in Canada. Everything's built for a hockey rink.
Yep.
And then you fit it in afterwards. Where in the States, it's all like all these field houses are all basketball and other sports. And they try to turn it into hockey.
Oof.
If they even go that route, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's tough to make work.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I-
All right.
Texted you before the show. I texted you.
You did?
A tweet.
Okay.
I thought we could maybe talk about that. And it's accredited.
did?
It's what's that?
Oh, you did? I
Yeah.
see. I've got a bunch
you
of
wanna look
missed
at that.
messages.
And it's basically called the remaining NHL strength of schedule, according to Tankathon. And it's saying the Oilers are listed number 31.
Strength. So they have the 31st easiest or hardest?
Easiest remaining.
Take
Well,
advantage.
I mean, they play, I think, San Jose twice, Seattle twice. They'll
think there's
split
another-
Kings twice.
Anaheim's in there, I think, still.
Yeah, I mean, when it gets to April, like it's basically all divisional games. Right?
Win
So
those.
you got to win those, right? That's
Yeah.
what it's going to come down to. But I mean, you never know with this team.
They did get their asses whooped by Anaheim last week,
Yeah,
which was embarrassing for an Oiler and Oilers fans.
Don't bring that up.
Well, it was bad. It was awful. I remember that night being like, what the hell happened? Why did they lose like that? They got their asses whooped
Yeah.
after a big win again. Whooped.
Whooped.
Could whip.
That sounds like Dr. Phil when he
what post? You were fired at one post game when they lost. Not the last one.
Last
That
one, I
one.
was just disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. What happened? Why'd you do
Yeah,
that?
because they didn't
It was a
play
6 or 7 one. You were fired up though.
The Philly and Washington losses.
Yeah, it could have been.
Pretty. Hernan and I were just getting each other even more angry.
Mm.
It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
But they're not slow. Like everybody was complaining that they're slow. Like they're
sloppy.
Yeah, they're sloppy now. Like they're just correcting their mistakes now, right? That's why I believe it's only going to get better from here.
So this is Nathan Murdoch, who does stuff for Nielsen Sports, SDPN Sports, Sportsnet. So the Steve Dangle Podcast Network, Sportsnet, NHL Bleacher Report. And that's where this is coming from that you sent me this. So let's look at the Oilers rivals in the division. Vegas has the 28th easiest. 28th ranked strength.
Yep.
So Edmonton's 31. Vegas is
They're
28.
playing the Blue Jackets today, and the Blue Jackets are doing well now.
They're
right?
plucky, yeah, exactly. And then Kings,
We're also
16th.
Mm-hmm.
Flames, 17th.
Canucks 12th, I think.
Canucks, 12th. Are we worried about the Canucks? Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, well, Kings and Capitals today as well. So
Kraken.
Kings
4th.
Capitals?
Yeah. So in theory, Edmonton should be able to make a push for first.
Exactly. Positivity.
There's
today.
a play.
Yeah.
Get the good manifesting juju out there.
Legit.
Yeah.
And you said Islanders are not a great team.
No, they are not.
Right? Rangers not doing well.
No, they're turmoil. The Devils announced Dougie Hamilton officially is going to be out for the rest of the season. Jack Hughes had the surgery. They're ripe for the taking.
Yeah.
However, this team that calls Edmonton home has a penchant for mishandling these situations and scenarios.
Yeah, I you know what? Like you just got to wait and see what happens. Like it's that they're all going to play each other. It's going to be 4-point games, as they say. Like you go a bunch of different ways, but it's going to be. I don't know. I don't know how they're not going to be with the Kings in 1-2. Like, I mean, maybe they catch Vegas, but I think it's going to be tough.
Okay. You want to add anything? Because I have a treat.
Sure.
Perry, he's a photog extraordinaire.
Yeah. That's it.
Has the
That's
jersey.
It, man.
I would like us to share. Who do I send it to? Yeah, what's the best? Yeg? Okay, I'm going to send it right now. Great picture. And Perry Nelson says, here's a little jersey info for you. The Oilers baseball jerseys, the ones that Reed's recreating with City of Champs and the Oilers, as well as the Nike jerseys were actually made by Alpha Sportswear in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Nike never touched them, just a screened logo.
That's what I thought.
If Reed wants more photos of the baseball guys, I have hundreds from them playing ball. Yeah,
Crazy.
dude. I can put you in touch with
100%.
Perry shoots. He's a photographer. He's at the rink. I think he's AP among other outlets, but he had it. He was listening. Perry, shout out to you. I'm going to send it. We're going to post
much
it.
appreciated. That'd be because they're actually hard to find. Like a couple we got were directly from OEG and then some other newspapers, but the newspaper ones are hard to get the color, obviously.
Perry's the right guy.
Yeah. I kind of thought that. I was like, I wonder if Nike made them and sent them up but I'm like, back then, no, they just screened. And it's weird. Gretzky's like number 17.
Yes.
I'm like, you don't make a Gretzky at 99.
No.
Like, how do you get him a 17? But maybe that was his old, like, he's a baseball player, right? So maybe that was his old baseball number.
Or maybe they just
know.
printed numbers 1 through 30.
And yeah.
Sent it to you.
And sent it to
And they're like, oh, what number do you want, Wayne? 99. We didn't make it.
And I think I told you before, if you're ever going through Battleford, Saskatchewan, stop at the Saskatchewan Baseball Hall of Fame. And there's a signed ball from Gretzky when he was like 9 years old who played on a baseball team.
Seriously.
Yeah. Team Ontario played some kind of tournament and they got a ball there with his autograph on it.
Saskatchewan has a surprisingly rich baseball history.
Oh, dude, this is like someone's house and they have all these old vintage jerseys. It's insane the stuff that they have in there. Great baseball history, old games, a whole bunch of teams from the States who come up and play. It's a really cool story.
One of the League of Their Own, the Peaches. What was their...
Oh,
city were they from?
Rockford. Rockford Peaches.
There was a lady from Lloydminster that played in that league.
I think there was a few Canadians playing there. So.
Yeah, so they did have some Canadians. Okay, so Brendan's got the photo.
Nice.
Did you do you know which ones I was talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to post it right away. He's just straightening it out.
The whole connection, and that's what they really love when we're talking about them. We're like, we're taking real photos, real things, and bringing it back almost as authentic as possible, right?
So how many times
Obviously
have
without
they
the
played?
Nike logo.
Without the what?
Without the Nike logo.
Without the
obviously.
Nike logo. Yeah. But so how many times did they have this slow pitch tournament game or whatever?
Yeah, I was trying to do the research on it. Like, it definitely went on for a few years, and Grant Fuhrer was the guy who
Organized.
Who organized it and kept it going.
Okay, so how similar?
Similar to that. The only thing we noticed because that's Wayner, obviously.
Yeah.
Is that like, see the logo's a little bit down at the belly button there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're bringing it up a bit more. Like there's a
So you can tuck
picture.
it in,
Yeah, there's a picture.
properly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I think when they screen printed these, the quality control was a little
They
bit off
eyeballed
on
it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if the Nike, they would have had those Nike baseball pants. Right?
Sure.
They would have had those kicking around maybe in their warehouse, but
Now, on the sleeves, is there a stripe? Am I seeing a stripe?
yeah, there's a stripe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a stitch stripe in there, everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Details.
Yeah, it's going to look pretty legit.
All right.
Oh, that's
so
cool. That's very
just
cool.
the logo up a little bit more.
okay,
Yeah.
so City of Champs that does all the great trappers gear. You've seen it probably at the ballpark, Little Brick, online.
Yeah.
My social media.
Yeah. United's got some of our gear
United.
too. Yeah.
They're doing these Oilers retro slow pitch jerseys, and you said the hats that go along with them.
And the hats. Yeah, there's some pictures of it. It's like a trucker style snapback that's legit.
And it'll be available at the Oilers store at Ice District, probably by playoffs. Very cool. I like that. I'm glad that Perry sent that image.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
And I'll put you in touch with Perry so maybe you can get some more images.
totally.
And put
We'll
that to
those.
use. I love it. Okay, we have a few minutes left. We have about 10 minutes left. Jazzy, any other topics that we missed that you want to hit on, or do we want to wrap it all up?
I have just like really basic stuff.
Absolutely.
We talked about the baton yesterday.
Yeah. Did you see this?
I didn't see this. I was just hearing about
I
it.
should show you.
Yeah,
I'll show you. But
Jasmine assumed the girl that got hit over the head with a metal baton is okay.
Yeah.
Alila Everett. She got
It's funny.
So you're not even knowing this because my kid just did like the relay. It used to be the Edmonton Journals, now it's running room relay. Thing
Yes.
at the Butterdome.
Yeah.
Everyone does it in elementary school
Yeah.
here, but their batons are foam.
Thank God.
Maybe for a reason.
Here. Like, you can't tell me that it was a mistake. She did an interview and she cried. She's like, I didn't mean to do it. I was just swinging my arms. And then you watch it and you're like, no, you smoked her over the head and threatened to do it again.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, that's vicious.
It's very vicious.
Dude, that's
yeah.
vicious.
Yeah, it was not good. It was,
So I was trying to have a positive take on it yesterday. Like, at least the other
Yeah.
girl's okay. And then Belzy and Tommy were like, she's not okay. And then Tommy's like, hole in head, not okay.
Not really?
they think she might have a fractured skull.
Come on. Why was she so mad?
I don't know. She got passed.
Yeah, she got passed.
Yeah.
But she regrets it. She said she didn't do it maliciously.
Oh, no, not
and
at
it
all.
was an accident. And that
Totally.
it was the force of her like arm as she was running.
As we could tell.
And there's a lawsuit now.
Wasn't there like 2 hits in that video?
Yes,
Like,
that's right.
so I get the first one maybe, but not the second one.
So yeah, I was just gonna let everybody know she officially got charged with one count of assault.
Come on.
Wow.
Oh.
I like that. We're advancing the story. Good follow up, Jazzy. Totally redeemed yourself.
Oh.
Well done.
Yeah, and they were very funny, the Nasties, yesterday. They said that I was recommending if I was a doctor, I'd be like, just drink some ginger ale, eat some
some mud on
crackers,
it.
yeah, rub some dirt on
You'll
it.
be all right.
You'll be fine.
So the moral of the story, kids, is if you're in a 4x100 meter relay, any type of relay that involves a baton that doesn't happen to be foam, do not smoke your opponent over the head with it.
All right.
Please. That's a no bueno.
Yeah.
Always a good idea.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know. I was like, but they're
like
on the
your
same
reaction.
team. Like, get passed. But like, she didn't pass you.
That was rough,
You're supposed
eh?
to pass. That's
Don't
I've never
do
seen
that.
That's oof.
Movie recommendation. I watched Honora finally.
What's that one?
It won Best Picture at the Oscars.
Oh.
It's 2.5 hours. It was good. It was really good.
What's it about?
It's like a modern day Cinderella story,
Okay.
but like it's like a story of a sex worker who marries a rich kid, and the family's trying to break their marriage up now.
Isn't that Pretty Woman, kind of?
Yeah. It's like
Tale as old as time.
But that's all I'm going to
Touche.
say, because I went into the movie thinking it would be something else, but it takes you on like a ride with, you wouldn't expect who she's on like this journey with.
Honora?
Honora.
Okay.
The actress also won Best Actress for that movie. People were complaining about Demi Moore not Demi Moore not
Yeah.
receiving the Best Actress, but I watched The Substance as well, and I can totally see why she won the Oscar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you compared the two.
Yeah, I did.
good.
So I definitely recommend that movie. It's 2.5 hours, but it's good. It's a good 2.5 hour watch.
All right.
Yeah.
I got a movie reco actually.
Please.
Sports one. So on Monday night, I went to the Canadian premiere screening of Yuki. So it's the untold story of Ukrainian hockey legends. And it basically tells a story about like in the 1920s, all these Ukrainians came to Canada and settled, and then wanted their kids to start playing hockey to kind of, get with the culture and everything. And from there, of all these legends, right? Wayne Gretzky. I don't know Mike Bossy is Ukrainian. His name got changed.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like Mikhail
no
Bossy. So it's Eddie Shack, Terry Sawchuk. Anyways, I guess people of Ukrainian heritage, there's 50 plus who now have their names on Stanley Cup, which is more than any other besides North American.
Yeah, there's not a lot of paisans on there.
No, there's not too many of those, right?
No.
So anyways, it tells that whole story, and it's got some cameos from Gretzky in there. Kelly Rhodey hosted it. So yeah, it's Yuki. It's UKE. I think you can get it on Amazon Prime and a few other places. But it was a really cool event. It's a documentary about it. And it was obviously it was at Fort Hall, and there was 400 people there. And Edmonton obviously has such a huge Ukrainian heritage and population. They're all there supporting it. So it was a great film, and the director was there who flew in from Kyiv and everything, which is cool to see. So yeah, if you want to see a nice hockey documentary that kind of has a lot of ties to Canada and to here, I'd do that one.
I highly recommend, especially like you said, a lot of people here probably resonate with that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Sport Edmonton, or do you want to go first?
No, let's Sport Edmonton.
What are you guys working on? I know you're always busy. We got
lots of stuff going on. We finished up our Fresh Nats hockey edition, so we did about 100,
by the way.
100 new, just the mesh or actually full on nets at community league rinks. Did a thing with the Oil Kings on the weekend to kind of wrap it up. We're going to move that into volleyball nets and maybe some ball hockey nets.
Cool.
In the spring and the summer, and that'll tie into some events happening here, like the volleyball nationals.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. We're gonna do we do these ball drops things. We give out equipment, basketballs, volleyballs, footballs to kids. We're actually partnering with Sports Central, who does that as their majority of what they do, and the Edmonton Police. And actually, what the police do is a cool thing is they go around with these giant ball bags, and then when they're going to a community, they'll actually be like, hey, let's start shooting hoops, or let's throw the football around, or soccer ball, to kind of get the kids engaged in the community a little bit. So we're going to be sponsoring that and helping them do those things.
That's a great initiative.
So those are a couple things coming in that I think it would be pretty cool.
Okay, and then finally, City of Champs, outside of the Oilers, retro slow pitch jerseys, which I think is great. What else?
Trappers jackets.
Trappers jackets.
They're coming out. It'll be soon too. And then a whole bunch of Trappers jersey. We're gonna working on that new drop.
Yeah,
so that'll be coming up. And then a whole bunch of City of Champs kind of core line items.
I love it. Yeah. All right, Jazzy, you're off to New York.
I'm off to New York. Thank you for that. By the way, O'Neill's I think closed down because I want you, Nasty, to know I went over all your recommendations yesterday, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I think that closed down. But thank you for that recommendation. The Sex and the City
useless,
Mart.
apparently.
No.
I apologize.
But hey, it's business, right?
Yeah, it was a good spot. Very sexy people.
Oh, damn it. I will return next week. I'll tell you guys about my trip if you guys care to listen. I think Friday. I will be here on Friday.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any sports in New York?
Oh, yes. Yeah? I'm going to see the Knicks versus Miami Heat. And I'm going to see, the Oilers versus the Rangers.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see the Garden. It's
cool.
like my bucket list,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
So, and lots of other fun stuff. But foodie. Get some lounges up and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to the right place.
Also, quickly, it's going to be St. Patrick's Day on Monday. So wear green or you're going to get pinched.
And mix in the water.
You got to mix it a lot.
But I figured St. Patrick's in New York. I wonder how that's going to be.
Yeah.
Apparently the parade's right in front of my hotel.
Perfect. Yeah, mix in the water.
Yeah. Indulge. Yeah.
Hey, Sport Edmonton, if people want to get involved, maybe want to support, where do they go?
SportEdmonton.com. Check out the site. Drop us a line if you can help out or want to be a part of this. We're all kind of about bringing all these different organizations together to make this stuff happen. So appreciate it. City Champs for all of our new stuff. And we've been kind of building up to a whole bunch of cool drops.
Okay, and Jazzy has a personal Venmo if you want to pay for a bottle service. It's on her Instagram. I'm kidding. I'm
I
kidding.
love that. Apologize for no White Lotus talk. Next week, I got you. I
Oh.
promise. Yeah.
Sick. I can't wait. Actually, I tried to watch it. I didn't have. It's on Crave, right?
Yes.
I do have Crave. I didn't realize it, so I'll try to catch up.
Yes, I hope you do.
That's gonna do it. That was another fun show. 2 hours just flies
Thank you,
by
Reed.
on
Goes
here.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reed
Thanks for
Clarke,
having me.
thank you for coming in. Jasmine Sidhu, she's off to New York. She's gonna see the Rangers and take on the Oilers. And then the next game,
Good juju.
Brendan, good to have him back. He was sick earlier this week. He's kicking ass with the graphics. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And hit that thumbs up button if you watch on YouTube. Coming up next, right here on EST, The Lock Shop with Huss and Dusty. I'll be back later with the oil stream and, of course, the GCL Diesel oil stream pre and post game show. I just live here
It
today.
never stops, Tommy.
I'm going to need a
It never
nap, but it
stops.
never stops. Can't stop the hustle. For Reed Clarke and Jasmine Sidhu and Brendan Eric, I'm Tom Gazzola saying thank you as always. We'll see you later.
Let's go.
There you go, right in front of the camera.
First time guest, long time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanek, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today,